Finally, I have everything that I need. Thanks to that mad poet, I have the Necronomicon and a destination, finally, to locate the forgotten city of Neruzavin. This journey will be a long one, surely across land and seas both. But after all the effort that has been put forth, after everything I have attempted over the last few years, this is the victory lap. I will be denied no longer. The black stars beckon, and I will find them. I am Count Hasserton Lowls IV, and when I am done here, no academic throughout the inner seas will forget this name. Somewhere, deep within these sands, I will build history.
So, you know when you hear your voice and you hate how it sounds? So we fought our reflections, and it turns out I'm annoying. and that's when I'm sleepy. I can't even imagine. I'm fully rested. Anyways, I don't really know what's happening. We're going to a town, and I think Trey has some issue with his son. We'll figure it out. I don't know.
He hasn't been sleeping well, you see? His brain's a little scrambled. I did appreciate that the takeaway from our fight last episode with these reflections of yourselves was the two of you realizing that you are crazy annoying. Like, the immediate...
It's not cool when somebody else starts healing. It's really not cool. I would hate that.
Imagine traveling with them.
In the backseat of the caravan.
Yeah.
Are we there?
Hey, that's not fair.
Are we in
My copy hit way harder than I do.
So did mine, I think.
I deal
Did you attack?
2d6 plus 7.
Didn't she attack? No, she
I
didn't.
think
She
yours
tried
was
to,
just
maybe?
I think you crit saved. She tried to cast a spell on someone and they crit saved. But we've returned back to reality now, and finally, long awaited in what has only been not even a full week, but sure felt like longer than that, our arrival in the small town of Riverton. One of the few relatively safe ports of the River Kingdoms, where we are to stop and resupply, and where we are going to release Daldron and his crew back into the wild to go do, whatever it is that they do, which is probably just piracy.
Get our catch and release.
The pirate catch and release program.
Make sure you kiss them before you let them go.
It's a rehabilitation system.
Kiss them.
Clip their ears so it
Marius.
So make sure you don't catch the same pirates
Yeah.
again. You can properly log your pirates. But as the morning had started, and you had all been awakening, readying yourselves to briefly have another stop on the shore, Daldron had stuck his head into the cabin. Hey, can we talk for a minute?
I don't see why not.
I saw something rather interesting last night, I figure. You and your... He just looks very pointedly at Cammy specifically. Weird little friends here. Seem pretty interested in, information. Is that your trade now? Giving up the sword, taking the books and learning? You're obviously interested in this weird magical crap. But hey, maybe we can trade.
Information's always useful. And I've had to use not a sword but a spear to get plenty of it.
Well, and he just kind of casts the door open, standing in the wide doorway with the morning light behind him. Most of his crew also gather onto the deck, just together a distance back, further away, looking this direction. Daldron is kind of loud and it's sort of attention-grabbing. He asked me about what was it?
red-sailed ship?
Yeah.
Well, turns out I have seen it. Recently, in fact.
How recently?
Well, what's that worth to you?
Depends on what we're trading.
You seem pretty interested in a wide variety of things I don't understand. But boats I can do. Boats I get. And that particular boat's pretty distinctive, I'd imagine. I'd wager the one I saw is the one that you're interested in. So, how recent, I suppose, again. What's that worth? Exactly.
What's your asking price?
Haggling. Interesting. Never known you to be one for that. Whenever you wanted something, you used to just hand over whatever you had. Like me. Or you not remember that either?
No.
I think it's kind of funny you're traveling with one of these. As he looks over towards MD. What are you, Belkson? You have to be based on the scars. After what we went through, I know you don't remember much, but there's some things are memories. Some things just become a part of you. That didn't even weigh, that wasn't even relevant enough to stick in your head.
My entire being that made up who I am was magically traded away. All of it.
Then what a funny little joke that here you are traveling with this thing.
I will learn soon enough what our relation was and is. But for now, I have only known these lot for about a month and a half.
Well, I can just look across the lot of you and see that you've been to have crossed some pretty good times recently. You're well equipped. Good arms, good armor. Reasonable equipment. A lot of that doesn't come cheap. So, I ask again, what's it worth?
And you hear Skywind's voice, kind of ringing down from the deck above you at the helm. Aye, you lot! Not looking to make our stay in Riverton particularly long. We'd have to be gone before evening, before their, whatever they call it, their evening something. These, look, if we're here when the sun goes down, we're gonna be stuck here damn near till the sun comes up, aye? So whatever you're discussing, make it quick. We're at the dock.
Do we have a window? Can we see if the ship with the red sails is just like literally
There
right
is not
behind
a
us?
window at the cabin, no. But the doors are open and the facing forward, but you could certainly walk out on the deck and go look. The Aldron's not going to stop you.
I feel like I want to do that. That seems like a funny prank that could happen. It's like, yeah, I saw it. It's right behind us.
He doesn't stand in your way. He steps aside, still this big grin on his face, and you walk on the deck and just kind of look up and down the river. And you see a couple of other ships, a little more than usual here in the proximity of Riverton, but nothing with red sails, nothing looking like what you would expect or what you're hoping to see. It's not that simple of a prank.
Okay. I'll hang out there then.
Ah, whatever. Sounds like we're in a hurry. Last night. I don't sleep much. Haven't been great at it recently. Last night, you know, moon's fairly bright. Can't 100% say, I suppose. That far out from the deck lamps, the color mostly starts to bleed out of the world. But in the moonlight, looked a little bit red. Very, very red for it to be notable.
Sounds about like what we came across.
It's interesting now. Close enough to be seen. Round a bend and haven't seen a single glimpse of it since.
It's exactly what it did to us.
You've gotten yourself entangled in something absolutely insane, haven't you? Well, good
Yeah.
thing we're at our stop. I want no part of this. Well, good catching up, Dad.
It's a pleasure.
You can see out the doorway that the ship is approaching the dock. It is another one of the fairly small settlements you dock at. Skywind passes on most large ports. The back in Rasmur on the capital is the last one that you'd stop at that was really a sizable walled city with real maintained docks, tithe collectors, the whole 9 yards. Most of the other places are small, especially in the river kingdoms. Settlements don't live long enough. Empires don't live long enough out here to build up real size, real civilization. But Riverton does well enough. It is sprawling, and almost somewhat reminiscent of Thrushmoor in a way. Simple wooden huts, shacks, arranged largely down the coast, and what strikes you as odd is that the village is very long. To the point where it would be to its detriment, making it difficult to walk from one end to the other. But no building is more than 4 or 5 deep from the shore. It's built almost exclusively on the exact edge of the water and hasn't developed back away from the riverbanks at all, from what you can tell. It's just continued to grow further and further down in an absolute mismatch, haphazard pile of piers and docks of different makes and sizes jutting out into the water like jagged wooden teeth. Your ship is small enough that it has no trouble pulling up to the docks. A fairly rickety but large enough pier to ferry supplies back onto the ship. And even before Skywind's crew has managed to tie it off, Daldron waves to his crew, who disembark, making the small hop across with no gangplank even onto the shore. Not even a glimpse behind them as they stride off into this strange little town.
Even if they don't turn around, I timidly wave toward the assassin woman.
Good. It's good, Marcus. You're doing really good.
Standing on this pier, other than your departing former shipmates, is but a single man. Very wide-eyed, half-elven fellow, with mud-spiked hair, blonde, slicked back across his skull and just long down behind his shoulders. He's rail thin in a patched brown robe. And further back at the edge of the pier is a small retinue of 5 or 6 women, hands folded, that are just looking his direction, back and forth between him and the ship. And he waits and just looks across the deck. Of the group of you
We would have come out at this point.
coming out of the cabin would meet his gaze as he looks across. Each of the 5 of you in turn with recognition, almost. As he sees you, he shoots his hands up into the air. The water rat delivers! But in his own time! I have seen you in murky reflections, and I would impart Hanspur's sudden wisdom to you with private words. Let us speak of strange dreams, red sails, dead fisherfolk.
All right, I'll buy it.
Skywind
Yeah, no.
stops immediately
Red sail.
and just looks down at the group of you. Why do you know him?
We don't.
Couldn't tell you.
We
No,
attract.
no, no,
I
no, no.
regret asking.
Remember the red sails and the weird boat and then
Nope.
the fair enough.
Oh, right. Vaguely, unfortunately. I try to forget most of what I've run into with the group of you.
It was out last night.
Probably.
All the
best.
better. All right, well, run off and be quick about it. Like I said, this Hanspur worship service that happens at sundown is compulsory in Riverton, visitors and all. So if you don't want to be stuck here all night, make it quick.
All right.
Just gonna hop off the boat.
By the time you disembark, the ship tied off the gangplank laid, Daldron and his crew are nowhere to be seen, having ducked into a building or nearby street somewhere off to whatever it is they're off to do. But this man, hands still wide in the air, turning them to the sides almost in a massive embrace. No smile, just an unsettling, unblinking stare across the group of you as you approach. You have come, as was predicted by the dreams, the tides, the drowned rat himself. I am Nehru, twice born. If you will speak with me, I would impart you wisdom and partake as well of yours. Please, join me.
We would love to.
What to
Please
say.
lead the way.
And he turns.
You can put your arms down, though.
He turns around, arms around, just still up, to this little gaggle of similarly robed women behind him. who have not said a word and are just kind of quietly waiting. Rejoice! Rejoice, for once more Hanspur hath delivered through the visions he has wrought upon me. These are those chosen I have spoken of, that we have seen, and from them we will learn of his watery will, which way his currents flow. Part like water, and allow us passage. And the 5 of them kind of just meekly shuffle, 3 to one side, 2 to the other, heads bowed, out of the way that you very easily could have just walked around. As Neril puts his hands down, palms up, head high, and strides forward through the center of the group. It all strikes you as absurd.
That's religious practices around these parts.
Getting a very strange sense of deja vu.
I think I'd rather be talking with the Count.
I think I'd rather be talking to Xandalos.
He says so many words.
It's like in between both of them.
Well, this is better than Razmarin.
He leads you, if you follow him,
Marine.
not far, to a small little shack just beyond the pier. All the buildings in Riverton look to be somewhat worn down, tumbled down, damp. They don't seem to be very well maintained. A great number of them that look a bit older, you can tell, because they have literally sunken a bit into the soft soil of the riverbanks. This one, no exception. They seem to be built without any kind of foundation, and often single corners or sides of the building sag, stretching or even breaking bits of the roof, which look like they've just been re-thatched over somewhat carelessly. Inside this small building, no chapel, no place of prominence, looking to be just a mostly empty storage building. He leads you in to a space large enough for all of you to stand comfortably. And turns back to you. Thank you for accepting my invitation. I know you've no reason to, but I hope my words are of interest.
Well, you said red sails, and it's been at least of a minor nuisance to us.
Just before midnight, many nights ago, 2 weeks, 3 perhaps, a red-sailed ship came to Riverton indeed. Its captain seemed a man dressed in thick clothing, but he was no natural man. This I swear by Hanspur himself, though I cannot say just what caused such unease to affect me. His very presence was grim, shadowy, dark, heavy even. He passed me a large gemstone, a ruby, uncut and raw, the size of a child's fist, and asked whether any travelers matching your 5 descriptions had been seen in Riverton. You are quite remarkable folk. A unique group, unlike many travelers we see on these waters, especially given the composition and your numbers. I am certain it is of you he spoke. I swore by my drowned soul that no such visitors have arrived, and his ruby was ill spent. But the captain merely chuckled, bade me keep it. And I realized it was not the captain laughing, but the ship behind him. The ship itself, the very wood and cloth and steel of its construction, seemed to have a will of its own. Strange as that may seem, it looked ordinary, but there was something sinister, something alive about it. I had nothing more to add. I left the pier. I wanted to be rid of him. By morning, the red-sailed ship was simply gone. Now I see you arrive, and I must ask, who was this man? What was this ship? It has gnawed at my mind ever since, like a rat gnaws upon a bone. I'll pay for whatever knowledge you have. And he reaches into his pocket of his robe and pulls out a huge, lumpy, uncut, raw ruby. And just extends his hand out towards you.
For what it's worth, Cammy, can you check that without touching it?
Yeah.
You pull out your little gem cutters.
Oh, can I?
Do you have detect magic or
I
read
mean,
aura?
I have detect aura.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
What are you all doing as we stand in the shed here talking to
Read
this
aura, right?
strange
Read aura.
fellow?
yeah.
I will read its aura.
She's reading aura.
I'm keeping my peepers wide open.
There's like a
Seeking.
seeking.
And seeking.
There are windows in this building. You can see around you. You can even see the pier and the Selin Starling behind you as Skywind starts to organize the purchase of supplies, speaking with a couple of simpler dock workers off to the side. More normal-looking folk than, who you've ended up with.
Always.
Well, probably scouting, just shifting around, looking while I'm having this conversation.
Okay. There is only one door into the building, and it's
That doesn't
approach
mean
clearly visible
that
via
these
the windows.
walls can't just be broken
That
down.
is very true.
We can break them.
Yeah, we could easily break
You
these.
could kick your way out of this shack. if
We're
you
all
want.
heavily
break it.
paranoid.
It's
Understandable.
deservedly so. The ghost ship has come to the man with the giant ruby, and I don't want us touching it.
Also, the last time we talked to a cult leader, it was not
Yeah.
a fun time.
Yeah. But
You guys have a
not
thing
cult.
with weird cults.
Yeah.
A lot of that going around.
Actually, the last two
What do you
times we
got?
talked to cult
Yeah,
leaders.
I'll just kind of read him and be like, is he is this like an act, or is he actually like?
Okay.
I'll read the ruby,
Okay.
Zara.
Read
You
the
read
ruby.
his.
I'm just seeking.
Just
I'm
say
also
that.
incredibly suspicious of this
Hey,
whole thing.
his
So
aura is very
you
blue.
two are seeking the room. You are reading this man. You are there is a use of that for perception as well. It's got a name that I cannot remember what it is. Sense motive is what we're looking for. That you are reading Neril here. Give me it is a perception check.
14 plus 15, 29.
The 29. He does seem genuine. I mean, you get a little bit of crazy energy in here. Obviously, I don't have to tell you that. I don't think you need to roll a 29 for that one. But one of the big thing that you have noticed is that his demeanor, although he is still definitely a special little boy, has
Aw.
changed pretty significantly from out on the pier to inside this room with you. He's a lot less bombastic. There's a lot less of this presentation and these insane declarations, and he's a lot more stable, maybe? You get the sense that he's being sincere with you, but was very performative when you had first met.
He's trying to pay us for. He's trying to give him information for the ruby when the ruby was for us to begin.
Yes.
Okay.
So, Cammy, as you're reading aura on this little ruby here, you don't detect any magical signatures on the gem at all. It appears to be just a huge, mundane lump of crystal.
And he's holding it out.
He's holding it out in his hand.
I'll take it.
Okay, yoink.
Roll a will save.
What
Yeah.
would you like to know
no.
specifically?
What do you want to know?
Who are you? Who is he?
I'm Cammy.
Why are you sought, and why did he come to our fine Riverton?
Don't know.
Why has Hunspur bestowed us with this strange malaise?
To answer your questions, we don't technically know who we are. We're working on that. Memories lost to magic. I only have about a month and a half of memories. I know my name and snippets of who I was, and that's it. I go by Dre.
You know nothing of your past. Why this shadowy figure pursues you so?
I can
And then
guess.
you arrive down the very river, the same passage in when he arrived. Your paths may cross soon.
They already
You-
have.
You arrived from upstream, as did he. One can assume his journey continued, as will yours.
As for...
It occurs to all of you, just because obvious. If he's saying you came from the same direction as the red-sailed ship, you've always seen the red-sailed ship
Right.
behind you.
Yeah.
The Selin River it's not, I suppose, inconceivable that it could somehow have circled
not,
around
like,
behind you in
expansive,
like the
though.
2 to 3 weeks. Yeah, it's a wide river. Like, it is a big river.
But it's not like we're in
But-
the ocean. where
Yeah,
you can
no,
loop.
exactly.
It's like you
And-
can see both.
He said the ship
Shores.
arrived 2 or 3 weeks ago, which is very close to the first time that you saw it. 2 or 3 weeks upriver
And
when you were attacked.
stating the obvious, it is only like one river. There's no like islands or anything around which we.
I mean, the
could have,
Selin River
passed.
is a huge. This is like the Mississippi. It is a big river that bisects all the way from Lake Incarthen, like one of the biggest lakes in the continent, all the way out to the inner sea. It is a huge river.
I don't think
It
there's
has-
any river big enough where you wouldn't see two
But
ships.
but it is a river. Exactly. Like it's not so big you can't see both banks. Like you would see a ship passing. I mean, you sleep, but like everyone's kind of been on the lookout for the red sailed ship.
Yeah.
There's no, unless the whole ship was invisible, there's no way it could have passed you without somebody seeing it on the Selm. Just basically impossible.
Could you tell us more about the magical qualities of the ship? You
I-
said it was laughing at you.
I had hoped that you would enlighten me.
No.
Obviously, the ship's just haunted.
Well,
This
I
Shit
think
could
you'll
be
find this
haunted.
interesting. The reason we don't have any answers is probably time related. The ship's already met us. We haven't technically met them yet.
I'm not sure of what you speak, but it sounds it bodes ill for my people, for my community, for us.
Most likely, yes.
This is not the will of Hanspur. And this ship, these practices, this chase, ill suits his will for this river and its waters. I would bid you hurry your resupply and leave this place.
We wish to leave within a few hours.
Very well. And I will not keep you. But hasten, please. Do not bring your doom to our doorstep.
Don't
We are
still,
pious folk.
Don't we still have a hole in the boat?
You do. Half the reason you need to stop in Riverton is because there was a dry dock.
Yeah.
And you're getting supplies right now, but then you're also going to have to move to the dry dock and get repairs. It's going to take most of the day. There is, another ship jutting out of your ship.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That Daldron and his crew have just left.
They stole it. They don't care.
Pirates.
Yes.
Like, it's not their ship. It's the ship they ran into ours.
More of
It's
a-
a ship.
More of like a little
They'll find a
jetty,
new
yes.
one.
They'll go find a new one.
Get a good
That's-
deal on it, too.
So
It fell off the back of a bigger
Quite a
boat.
distance.
we're gonna be here for a while. We don't want to like step on any Handspur's toes and stuff. What is Handspur? And what? We're probably gonna be here at night for that whole thing.
Hanspur is the water rat. He is the god that keeps us safe, that watches over us, protects us from the shores of this river. He who controls the currents, exerts his will through the flows.
Is he the
Hotspur is-
reason that your community is so water related rather than building in?
He is the reason our community is able to exist, to thrive, and to grow as it has. One of the few still standing over such many generations here in the River Kingdoms. Without the blessing of the drowned rat himself, no port would survive. Ours alone has stood the test of time, due to his will.
Never.
You can believe as you please, but our very existence is proof in and of itself that you stop here, that you know of our ports, our dry docks, our abilities, our practices, the fact that our community has grown and thrived rather than being burnt to ash like so many before it, is all the evidence one would need of Hanspur's might.
I do not question your gods. It's not my place. Although I don't think Hanspur, right?
Indeed.
I don't believe he'll be able to solve the red ship. You
This
can only hope.
red ship, whatever it be, I wish to see nor hear more of it. Its will has clouded my mind, my desire to know more, but hearing your tale, I wish only that I had never asked, that I have never met the man, or his cursed vessel.
Technically, you haven't.
I mean, he has.
Not if it's a ghost ship.
You can still meet a ghost.
You can still meet a ghost.
We met ghosts.
I mean, that's something.
It's
We will-
like ghost territory.
We need speak no
adjacent.
more of it.
Oh.
Your ship, given its damage, I believe, will be moved to the dry docks, south of town, some short distance. It looks as though preparations are in order, as he gestures towards the window, and you can see a bunch of dock workers have already started to move around and set up another wider barge that will be towing the pair of the ships down further. The road will take you there shortly. It is less than a mile. Please, take your cursed presence elsewhere. I mean no insult. I just do not wish to test the will of Hanspur by allowing by abetting such strange plagues. I wish you well elsewhere.
Thank you.
It's just fine.
And I will go on ahead and start to leave.
And yeah, he will motion towards the door. The group of you can make your way
I'll
out.
put the ruby in
Be
my
safe
pocket.
elsewhere.
What?
I'll put the ruby in my pocket.
Yeah, he gave you the ruby. You have it. It's yours.
We were
Massive,
so
Ghost
helpful.
ruby.
huge ruby. It's a huge gemstone. Like uncut. That thing is
Well, he
like
said-
hundreds, if not well over 1,000 gold. It is a huge, pure gem.
and he said it's the size of a child's fist, so it's probably bigger than her fist.
About the size of a Cammy's face.
two-hander.
Yeah, you got a two-handed gemstone here. It's
Hey, how
enormous.
convenient. It fits your pocket perfectly.
It's like weighing down one side of my little overalls, like where it's like all like lopsided now.
You ever seen a toddler walk around with a rock in their pocket?
Yeah.
That's, what
That's
we're
you
looking at.
right now.
As you
Nice.
come out,
Swinging it around.
A rich toddler.
you again
Very
see
rich talk.
the Sullen Starling starting to be towed south. This bend in the river, curving down a little ways, for a little further downstream than the supply dock, where things are being ready to mounted to be carted also down to load onto the ship once it's ready. Most of the crew seems to have already made their way down towards wherever its destination is, but it's a simple matter for the group of you to walk down there as well. The shores of the Sullen River here are much as they have been for the majority of your journey, temperate forests. And the banks here very shallow, leading the lands to be rather muddy and swampy, but still canvassed with thick, sturdy trees, the berms of which in many places reach all the way out into the river itself. There's a bit of a gap between the edge of Riverton and the dry docks located maybe a quarter mile down the shore, them having needed the space, depending on the size of vessels that come down the river, is big. You can sail pretty sizable ships down this. The Sullen Starling is far from the largest vessel that the group of you have passed. Even the barge back up in Resmeron was much bigger, and you could certainly sail a several-masted galleon down this. It is truly a huge river. But as you walk, Seekers, give me a perception check. What are you two switching and doing as you
Thinking.
travel?
Thinking.
Yeah, I'm thinking about their religious
Using your big
practices.
brains?
Now that
Mulling it over.
You know what?
That's my activity.
I won't. I've taken the derp line of thought. Just use it.
that's the spirit, you get it
Um,
when you use it. And I'll be switching to readying a reaction. Just
Okay.
spear like up on my shoulder, ready to sling it out at something if I need to.
As we're walking here, I kind of get distracted a little bit, and I have to refocus myself. You know how like sometimes you walk in, you just space out, and like there's not a thought in
You
your
just
head.
zone.
Yeah,
No
I
thoughts
realize that's
behind those
happening, and then I'm
eyes.
like, oh,
Head
I'm
empty.
supposed to be watching. So thank you, Hypervol. It got worse. It went from a 3 to a 1.
Sick.
Thanks,
Sick.
Hypervol.
Waking up from a daydream does not make you
You're just kind
coherent.
of watching the river. How about you?
25.
25 total?
Yep.
Fair enough. As the group
Not
of
much
you
better.
walk down the banks, the 25, you would notice that, I mean, the Sullen River is kind of the source of a lot of life down the coast. Riverton is not the only settlement on the shores, and I mean, it's just medieval life in general. You need water. Settlements pretty much only exist close to the water. And it's not just people. This is like the oasis of the desert here. Much of the land of the River Kingdoms to the north is rough. There are tons of birds and bugs and all kinds of strange life. And at 25, you notice something a little odd.
Taser off.
It's a taser otter. No, it's a. It looks at first almost like frog spawn, like an egg that some kind of a toad would lay, but it's fairly big. Again, Galarian, not unheard of. We've had in previous campaign frogs entirely eat a party member who was never seen again. So big frogs.
It was Malevolence.
I always thought it was Skull and Shackles, but yeah, it's just like maybe
That's
like
a
a
funny story.
not quite, maybe a cami fist sized gelatinous little orange globe that's just on the ground near the roots of a tree, kind of tucked into the mud. It's interesting because it's not something you've really seen before. It looks a little different from an egg. The insides of it are kind of writhing and moving, but it doesn't look like a small frog or a lizard or anything in there. It almost just looks like disconnected bits, almost sort of like a jellyfish, just writhing around, but different parts moving a lot for a fairly large egg thing. And as you look at it, it almost kind of turns to acknowledge you, and the whole thing wriggles down into the mud a little bit.
Oh.
What you don't see with a natural 1 and a 25 is up in the tree above that is a very peculiar creature. And as it jumps down from the branches, almost just splatting onto the ground next to the tree, the thick, pudgy green body with just whip-like tentacles in place of arms, and everything from the shoulders up, where there would be a neck, where there would be a head, is just a writhing nest of hundreds of these little orange things.
Just little guys.
This is certainly not something natural to this world.
What do you mean?
But I have good
Oh,
news.
it's about to be very not in this world at
I
all.
guess MD needs a hero point
See?
from me
Use
to
it.
make it
Get
be
it.
better. Use it, you get it.
Who's that from?
That's from Scott. It's from Scott.
Hasty block.
This is definitely just going to be some perception initiative as the thing just plops down from the tree in front of you.
It has so many eye things.
So many eyes.
It do be looking.
Uh-huh.
Hey.
I mean, I got a 6.
Yeah.
Incredible.
What do we got from Easy?
Just an average 10 plus 15, 25.
How about Cammy?
2 on the die gives me a 18.
Do we have +1s with?
No one's
No,
got
I
it.
swapped
Got it.
over
Trey.
to swinging. I got a 22. I rolled a 6.
Easy's currently winning with a 25.
Oh,
MD.
I rolled a 5 on the die.
Oh, no.
No, that's fine. It gets to take a
I
single
get a
turn.
21.
Yeah, no. It gets,
One better with a 26.
Oh my gosh. Okay, well, you're all here kind of in a blind.
8.
26 is.
None of us rolled above it. Oh, he
Guys,
rolled
it
good.
has a plus 24. Guys,
It has a lot of eyes. That's what I was
so
saying.
it has.
okay, it got a 44. It's going first. Like,
Easy.
to be
doesn't
fair, it
stand for
didn't matter.
anything.
I rolled a nat 20. It was probably going to happen like this anyway.
Its
So-
initiative is
44?
just 10 higher than mine.
Big.
What on earth is you?
14. I get a flat +2 because I'm a
Oh.
fighter, but
As this thing drops onto the ground, unfortunately, this strange little creature does not have a token of its own. It kind of plops down right in front of Marius and MD here as you're
That's
looking
fine.
at this little thing on the ground. And it rides around, not really standing, but just kind of rotating. And this nest, this pile of eyes or eggs or whatever it is atop the thing, turns to face the two of you and explodes outward. A shower, a withering hail of these little orange thingamajigs sprays out across Marius and Cammy and MD.
Yay.
No.
I need a reflex save from
No.
all of you.
I don't.
I rolled a
want to.
natural 20.
Boy.
Rogue things.
Oh, I don't have my reflex.
Range of things.
that's why I'm readying one.
You know what?
Fine.
Yeah, I'm gonna be okay.
It's reflex.
Got it. Use it.
It was reflex.
Yeah.
Don't look at me.
What's your
Yeah, that one.
33.
33 is a regular success. What did you get?
I'm going to. Marius is startled and is definitely going to jump in. I'm going to re-roll that.
The hero point.
A little bit better. That's a 30.
30 is a regular success. And you got a natural 20.
I got a
so you're like,
38.
Whoa!
Its
Oh,
aim
it
was a
wasn't you.
little
It was
off.
easy.
Well, it's me.
Okay, easy
I rolled.
is also in the cone.
I'm
Easy
in the
can-
cone. I didn't get.
I say I'm
You're
the other
next
easy.
to me.
Yeah, you're
I
next
thought
to
I was
Cave.
fine.
And I have evasion,
Okay,
so it's a critical
okay.
success.
I'll try and block you off.
It was a
Keep-
what save?
reflex.
9 plus
I rolled a
17
20.
is
No, what did you
26.
get?
26. Okay, so regular failure, regular success.
Okay.
The two in the front completely dodge this. The whole wave hits these two. And
It really
wasn't
was
aimed
just
at us,
aiming
actually.
at those two.
It's just sort of spraying.
It's gotta be aiming higher if I got better than he did.
These squishy little egg eyeball looking things shower out across the group of you. And Trey in the back, you just watch the whole top half of this thing just blast outward.
Wow, that's gross.
Dozens of these showering across the party. Well, two of them duck. And you see the body of this. It's got skin. It's got this kind of weirdly smooth, pale green flesh. There aren't organs in there. It's just a sack full of more of these things.
Tell me there's no organs.
And it
Hey, you know, this thing's a bit aberrant.
as they hit the two of you, they kind of stick to you, and you feel an incredibly sharp pain as these little tentacles inside, surprisingly sharp, shoot out through the core like little needles into you, stabbing and attaching all over you.
You got little hitchhikers. But they're in your flesh instead of your clothes. You ever step on a goat head?
Cammy, you're taking half.
Seed. It's called
You will
goat.
take 25 points of piercing damage.
Get wrecked.
Easy, you're taking 50
Oh my gosh.
points of piercing damage.
And due to the Guardian Aegis ritual that we've done, it is 4 less for Cammy.
Yay.
I take 4 damage instead.
Thanks, buddy.
And I need the two of you
No.
to roll fortitude saves.
There's more.
You're about to get sharp.
Oh, wait, there's more. But wait,
No, wait.
you're getting bit by weird things.
No, that's fine.
No.
Yeah, that's perfectly
No,
fine.
let me.
It can only get worse from
No,
that.
I have something I want to say, and I want to say,
Okay.
and I want to say thank you to Hypervol, as it starts to sink its whatever sort of like, I don't even know what it is. I just start waving my arms around frantically.
I told you it could only get worse.
Did you roll 1?
I told her
That's
it could
exactly
only
what
get
happened
worse.
to
I rolled a one.
Hypervol.
I told you it can only get worse.
It was a 2.
My Hypervol
I
roll.
warned you.
You got a 1. Easy.
I got a 7, but
If you have a Hypervol roll, don't use it.
well, I got a handsome ganker roll,
Okay.
opportune distraction.
Don't re-roll it. It was bad when I
No,
did it.
It'll be
his is
fine.
gonna be
For this
fine.
check, dude.
I'm remembering the
His is
Viscount
fine.
and all his sneezy and coughing. I'm just gonna let out a big phlegm and just try to feel better. Okay, that's a 16.
See?
Thank you.
You're probably fine. Unless your
warned
fortitude
you.
is literal garbage. What's your fortitude save?
15 plus 16. So 16 plus 15.
Yeah, you
Help
succeed.
me.
Yay.
You succeed.
Help
Cammy
me.
critically fails.
Your
Cammy,
bones.
as these little things, you feel them all stab into you. 25 points of damage just from these little things. There's like a dozen of them affixed to you.
Yeah.
Several of them inside your skin,
No.
leaving little round bullet holes.
What do you mean?
You have bot flies.
You are fatigued and sickened too.
Okay.
Yeah, you have bot flies. How's it feel?
I got botulism.
And then the thing rights itself
No.
on strange four-toed feet,
What?
writhing and just kind of stumbling in front of the two of you with the entirety of what would be its head missing as more of these little orange things start to climb and writhe up to fill the space. Marius.
Like
it was
a
sickened 2 and
Sickened
fatigued.
2 and fatigued.
Thank you.
so like a cat that's just seen a cucumber on the ground. I'm gonna just jump up and literally
What a
I'm gonna
reference.
long jump backwards. Just make some distance.
So, how far?
I've got a speed of 20. So
All right, 20 feet back off the road, just onto the mud of the riverbank here.
and then I will hunt prey on him, and I'll give him
Go for the eye.
a couple shots. That's a 5 for 1 and a 14, 12, and then 27.
Your totals are 12 and 27.
Oh no, 20.
Oh.
I'm adding.
Oh.
I think that comes out to be a 27.
27. As you shoot the arrow pierces right through, not going all the way through the creature, but thudding into this strange hide that it has, and you see it just kind of hang loose. That's not gonna hit.
Okay.
Most of it is just skin that doesn't even seem to matter.
Oh, good. All right, that's my turn.
Easy.
Okay. So I have these little things in me, but I'm not sick.
No, you're not sick.
Okay.
They're not burrowing into you yet. You just took a billion of them. But with your fortitude save, they can't get into you. They're just they were like affixed and stabbing, and then you mostly could knock all of them off. And
I'm mostly swatting them away, and I'm just like, all right, so there was a town named Riverton, and I thought it'd be just a nice time in the sun. And then there were these weird bugs, and they wanted gross hugs. Now this is no fun. And I'm going to do some courage. I'm going to hold on that last note. It's going to be lingering. So let's see if I get that. And that's a 2. So
I'm not going to linger.
I don't linger, but I don't.
But you still
I
have
don't
one
spend
round.
a phone
One round. Yeah.
It's just one round. And because I'm a bit distracted, and I'm just patting away, and I'm just self-soothing. You know, I'm patting. I'm trying to make myself okay. It's a level 3 soothe I'm going to cast on myself.
Oh, no.
This is his self-care routine.
Yeah.
He rubs a little mud on him. And
Magic
exfoliate.
Let's all right. 8, 9 is 17 plus 12.
Huh?
17. What? Wait,
Yeah, 29.
Yeah, 29. And then I roll to see if I
So
feel
you
better.
roll, see if you get a little bit of, you can use a little bit of stress
Could
refund,
use
I
a
think.
little
That'd be
bit.
good for you.
All right.
Not a great place.
10. I don't feel anything.
That
I mean, you feel
sucks.
better.
That's like the worst
just not
thing you could roll.
mentally.
That's
Yeah,
the
I'm still
saddest
stressed.
thing you could
Ugh.
roll.
It's a stressful situation.
That's the
Trey.
worst good thing you can roll.
I do believe. Is it difficult terrain off the path?
No, away, like more than 5 or 10 feet off the path, the mud gets soft enough that it would be, but you got like a 15-foot base,
Yeah.
so it's a pretty good amount of space to use.
I'll move 25 feet to be above it.
Okay.
Like just straight above it. One more up. Just
Just
going
in spear
25
range.
feet to the right.
Right over here.
Spear
just
range.
rushing through the trees too. Like
Yeah.
that's the edge of the difficult terrain
Yes.
there. But next to the tree, it dropped out of kind of behind it. Okay.
I'm spreading us out.
Fair
and
enough.
Providing flat-footed. Tactical.
And as you go to swing at it, you see these little orange,
I'm raising
whatever
shield
they
first.
are, like looking out in every direction. You feel like it's not so easily flanked.
It is not flanked.
Ganged up.
It is gang up
Does that just
flat-footed.
inflict flat-footed? I think
Yes.
I'm pretty sure it's you flank them from any position, but did you find out real quick?
Yeah, check
But
the
take
wording.
your swing and we'll see if it matters. Shield raised,
Yeah,
take
so-
your swing.
Move out, raise shield, because that was disgusting.
Go. You just watched it all happen.
And
Like,
then I'm gonna put a hole in it. But it might matter with a 23.
It does not matter the
Yeah, I didn't
23
think
whether
so.
or not it's flat-footed. MD.
It is flanking.
It is flank. I thought it was. So it is not flat-footed just from the fact that you are around it. It's
Oh,
can
battle
easily-
cry.
Oh, go ahead.
Battle cry.
23. Yeah, again.
Don't care. He hear it. He don't care.
Sweet. This thing is gross.
It is horrible. This is one of the more horrible things that exists. Yes.
So,
Is it a boring?
seeing how we can't really take advantage of spreading ourselves around it,
Oh, we can absolutely take advantage. You can't do that.
I
Everybody.
mean that. I mean like us, you and I. I'm going to raise shield. Now, as I'm raising, it's going to jut out, and the sword's going to follow up with a twin feint. So I'm going to
Ooh.
strike twice.
Always feels
just
good when you get to
off.
come back to Yolen Twin Fate.
That's why I never changed it out. Like,
Sometimes it's very relevant.
yes. So shield first. Shield bash. The 3 on the die is not going to do.
Shield Bash is here to set you up.
No.
It sets you
It's
up.
the
He
twin
is flat-footed in
feint.
the second one.
It is a 13 on the die, 28 versus his flat-footed.
28 will hit just hit the flat-footed. Is it close range here? You can get enough of your blade in it to catch a lot of this filling.
And let me guess.
It's like a
It's
jelly
not
donut.
immune to sneak attack.
Take that.
Let me
back.
guess.
It has resistance to precision damage.
You know what? That's 10, 15, 16, 22 damage. And
Full damage.
enfeebled 1 for debilitation.
As you hit it, that isn't going to apply because this is functionally a collective swarm of the things that are inside
That's
of it.
disgusting.
So only the ones that you hit are enfeebled, which isn't enough to really affect the thing itself.
Burn it.
How you can sneak attack it? Huge question mark, but it's not immune, so there you go.
I hit the leg and made it go.
Yeah, it does still. I guess it still needs the body sack to keep it all together, so you
Aiming
can
for weak points in the
hit
body
apart
sack.
with more of them. Yeah. So Cammy, as we come to you, you are recalling knowledge, which means you.
Oh, yeah. I think I learned something.
It really came to you.
What's your cultism?
My cultism is a 19.
Okay, well, I rolled a nat 20, so.
Okay. At least I'm doing something.
You're very familiar with botflies.
You. Yeah, so.
Tell me about it. No,
I
I'd
don't
love
know
to
if
know,
it
honestly.
it is like a thing that you've heard of before. Where would you? I'm trying to figure out how I can even flavor how you could possibly know what this is.
not
Like
flashback memory,
Okay.
not the first time it's happened.
with a natural 20.
Yes.
She read it in one of the books.
You looking at this and really feeling it.
I am.
Know several things. First of all, it is a swarm. It is a swarm of these little orange orbs. Literally, the thing they're contained in is just it's like the equivalent of a beehive. It's something they just build. It's something they excrete and put together. It is not a part of them, and hurting it does not help you.
They
It
built a
is
flesh tube.
just a skin sack that ferries around the colony. As long as there's a decent amount of them in it, they can somehow pilot the thing, and it is a physically threatening menace unto itself. But this is an upside and a downside. Because they're all contained in this one sack, you can use precision damage. You can crit it normally. It doesn't have the normal resistance as a swarm does, but it doesn't have the normal weakness as a swarm does either. It's kind of both a swarm and a single creature. That said, any kind of debilitation or effect that would only affect a single or a finite number of creatures isn't going to affect it at all. You have to affect the whole or a majority of the colony for it to make a difference. It's also...
Could you slow it? Because it is like a movement sack. Like
the
terrain.
sack's not like a living thing.
No, like terrain and stuff.
Oh yeah, for sure. No, for sure. You can also tell that given its constitution and how it lives kind of covered in mud on the riverbank here,
It doesn't.
it looks like it's probably pretty flame resistant. But similarly, being a swarm of small, you felt them, they're pointy but soft, the gelatinous creatures, they're probably very weak to freezing.
Oh,
So if you got any cold damage in there,
Freeze your blood.
my blood is running cold right now. Does that count?
I'll give you one more because it was a natural 20.
Thank you.
Little
I'm
bonus.
in a tough place
Well,
right now.
Yeah, I'm feeling
What
it.
is
I'll
this called?
This is called an Iskalug.
Iskalog.
Thank
you.
Isqulug. Iskalug.
I wasn't gonna get that.
No one was. That's why I just spelled it.
L-U.
I will give you one more as a little bonus. You already got your 2 for a good success.
Thank
I'll give you a
you.
bonus.
No, I'm a.
A bonus for the first-hand experience.
The botfly thing is only half of a joke.
Yeah.
This is how these things reproduce.
You're pregnant.
It is by using the living matter in you to create more little orange things. It's not gonna lay eggs in you. It's gonna turn you into
You're a
eggs.
flesh sock.
Okay.
Your turn.
Yay!
As I recall this information that
It's
I
okay to
already
fireball yourself.
knew, of course, I'm going to
You
look at my
recognize
arm.
flash of recognition of this horrible, horrible thing.
I'm gonna look down at my arm and just take a knee, and I'm going to spend my. I'm going to retch. I'm going to try and throw it up.
And as you kneel down
No.
and just vomit out your soul,
Yeah.
this is truly disgusting.
Yeah.
It doesn't help. That's not the problem. The problem
Wait a
is it's being
second.
continually inflicted by the things that are burrowed into you.
They are digging into your flesh.
As long as you are still infested, you can't reduce the second 2 because it's functionally just going to immediately reapply itself. 2 actions left.
Can I use another action to think about it again? And how I might
What's the
solve such
solution?
an issue?
Make me a medicine check.
That's awesome. Okay, I could do that. 12 on the die, so that's going to be 26.
26. There's too many of them for you to reasonably dig them out quickly, and they have burrowed deep. So the 26, you truly have no idea. One action left. You could try again.
Okay. Yeah, we're not doing that this turn. 17 all the time.
Okay, so the 31. The 31.
If you did that so fast.
At this, this is 500 what you had. With this infestation, at a base level, now that they're in you, like I said, digging them out seems fruitless. They're already in you. You're already infested.
Dr. Pimple Popper isn't gonna save me this
It's a
time.
little worse than that. You can feel more than just this pain. This fatigue and sickening is them taking root in you.
Oh, cool.
At this point, even if you got like a little shop vac and sucked out the orange balls, the part that are embedded in you, the bits that are stuck, you're infected. This is at this point basically a disease, an incredibly powerful one, but would need to be treated as such.
I'm just going to scream out, I need a doctor.
You are a doctor.
No, not enough.
This thing is kind of wobbling and waving as most of its head and what it used to perceive the world is strewn all across the floor. Large amounts of the spray, the orbs that missed all of you, are throughout the mud, across the ground, skittering, burrowing. They don't move effectively, but they can use these little needles to kind of slowly pull themselves into the mud like the one Marius had seen at first. But as it waves around, it turns its hulk towards MD and just brings up one tentacle and lashes down towards you in just a awkward overhead slap. It's gonna be a 40 to hit. Just a 40.
Just a flat
Just
40.
a 40.
Just casually.
Just a good old 40.
Casually.
Just a
Casual
casual
crit.
40. Just
a
walks
crit.
up and drops a 40.
It's a crit,
That's-
man. That's a crit, my guy.
And as this smacks
No
you,
way.
the tentacle hits pretty hard. It's much heavier than it looks like it should be. And as it hits, you feel dozens of small pricks and blades across your body from the little needles of these things. Make a fortitude save while I roll some damage.
No, I don't. I rolled a 27.
27. 44 is the crit damage.
Cool.
44 bludgeoning and piercing. With a 27, you too are now sickened 1.
Oh!
That's a failure.
It's a regular failure.
Darn.
And then it's going to use its weird little legs to surprisingly quickly stumble its way down towards the shoreline. That's definitely going to provoke. It's in range.
32.
32 definitely hits.
Poke.
And
And that will be 15 as
Ooh.
just piercing.
And works perfectly fine.
and as he hits,
Hey, it's the
He's
Before
still there.
that
You get
tentacle-
yours.
Hello.
The
Yeah.
boys.
as he hits, he staggers, and I take my opportunity to hit with my. No, I don't. Actually,
Let's go.
Here, boy.
I pray to my god, and I have a god, I guess. We established that at some point, and reroll that for 17 on the die.
Ooh, okay.
Plus 19, so 36.
36 hits.
Yeah. Go these dice. That's the right dice.
Oh, the squishy noises. Oh, I hate it.
14.
This is
Oh.
vile.
This is horrific. So 2 solid hits.
Thank you,
As you
Scott.
see it scuttling away, a very eerie, lopsided kind of shuffle, but quick. Like, this thing can outrun Marius pretty easily, even in its current state. You see that the first wound where you had struck it, MD, you can see into it where a bunch of these orange balls are gathered around and are secreting something to pull it back together. It is stitching itself back together as it runs. And it plops into the Selin River, unceremoniously splashing in, kind of drawing its tentacles and its legs into a little ball. It shoots down into the water.
Are there any little guys around still?
There are a lot of little guys scattered throughout the mud.
I'm gonna smash one and then bring it with us.
Marius?
Can I still see like any of it where it is, or is it just like completely?
It took an entire move action to swim, and it swims pretty quick. And most of that swim was down. From where you are, you can make a perception check.
I want to try.
Go for it.
Okay, that's a 6 plus 18 or 24, and I think I get
20
plus 2 with hunt prey.
Yeah, you're
26.
this is the ranger thing is happening.
doing
You're
it.
tracking your prey. With a 26, definitely. It didn't take an action to hide or anything. It's just the murky waters of the Sullen River. You can see it is leaving, and it is leaving quickly. It shows no indication of turning back around or anything. It is shooting down into this massive river, but you do see it.
Okay.
It's about probably 15 feet deep and 20 feet out in the river.
This might be a horrible idea, but I'm going to pull my bow back really hard and kind of charge it up and try to use Song of the Bow.
He's firing
You're
the
gonna
noob
shoot the
tube.
bomb, okay.
I'm gonna try
Do
to
the
nuke
depth
it.
charge,
Yeah,
all right.
I'm gonna try to nuke it in the water.
Natural 20.
Oh my gosh!
Hey, this is
Oh my gosh!
This is what the noob tube was designed for.
You see the arrow shoot into the water? You see Marius just shoot this rest, and all of you see, you hear, and the water just depth charge just goes off under this thing. What's the that crits, obviously. So
Oh
it's
my
what? It's the arrow
gosh.
damage and then AoE,
Well-
or is it just the AoE?
I think it's just the AoE, so I'm assuming that's doubled, right?
It's double.
All right, so that's 10d10.
Whoa.
So roll 5d10 and double it.
Yeah. I've only got 3. Can I have 2?
5d10
Roll-
sonic damage.
roll those
Just
and roll
pure
two more.
sonic damage.
Oh my
This thing
god.
detonates inside the skin sack.
Direct impact.
Take one of those. Oh, you're full 10, yeah. Roll 4 more.
Rolling's fun.
Rolling is fun.
Rolling's
That's why you play a spellcaster.
I like
Roll
rolling.
one more. It's fine. That's fine.
The council
So
is
two more.
meaning.
2 more. 2 more.
Well, that one was. That was 6, 7, 8. Oh, yeah.
There's 2 8s. You took one of the gates away. Yeah.
85.
What? Whoa!
Yeah.
What?
85?
80 on
10?
10d10?
You rolled really high, yeah.
I think so.
Hey, it's a noob tube.
What?
85?
The 10d10?
You know what sonic damage does underwater,
so,
right?
Yeah, unless I'm hoping I didn't just like
No, you
fat
use
finger
a
a number.
calculator.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
You rolled high.
That's an insane roll.
Oh my gosh. That's
We're all
crazy.
drenched.
Yeah,
We're all having
like a
Hearthstone.
I was
tsunami
expecting
comes
about
out.
a 55.
Yeah, that'd be average.
You
to
just
be 55.
started
Oh
hurricane
my
season,
god.
dude.
Make a fort save.
Yeah.
Yeah, you said it's not immune to things like that.
That's true. It definitely hit the whole swarm. 28.
That's
It meets
actual
it.
DC.
Just barely.
It's not deaf.
It's not deaf. It regrets its life decisions right now.
Easy. Do you want to take any actions here? That doesn't kill it. It's
Help
pretty
me.
close.
Help me.
Oh, anything
know
hidden
how
in
to
the
help
area
you.
is revealed
See a
to
bunch
me.
of dead fish
First
float
aid
up.
A bunch of dead fish float up on the surface of the river.
A 20-foot
Nuclear
burst.
bomb that just lit up.
Wait,
Said
hold
that
on.
we
Was that
were
your full
gonna
turn?
make waves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Seek and into action.
Okay.
Like a beaver just gets tossed up on the shore. Twitching.
Hey, we found the red sail ship.
It's a new way of fishing.
Oh my gosh.
That was cool.
I learned a dynamite fishing trick.
Easy.
Once per day.
Well, I assume it is dead
all you need.
after that.
It's gotta be.
Yeah.
He didn't take an action to point out, so none of you can see it. No.
Yeah. and
It's
I-
not coming
I
back.
assume it's not.
Are you doing anything?
I'm trying to like get some magical mud and try to help Cammy.
Just coat me.
It's like I don't know if this helps. Does it feel better? I don't know.
Ah.
It's like make a poultice.
Trey, you do anything?
I'm gonna try and shoot it with a bow, I guess. I have a bow.
Roll a d20. Give me a shot.
Come on, man.
I'll swap, seek,
I'll
and then
just
fire.
I'll just give you the perception check and take a shot.
Yeah, it's that over there.
No, just kind of in the. Just,
MD, you doing? What are you doing?
That's out of my depth.
Amy?
I have a series of things I'd like to try. I'm doing something else over here, though.
Okay.
I couldn't care less where they went. I know where they are.
After that round, 3 actions of swimming down the river, that thing is gone.
It's gone.
It is going to disappear into the muddy waters. Not even... it's still Marius's prey. So for the moment, if you wish to track it, he's got some bonuses to that. But for the moment, it is out of sight.
I'm gonna squish one of the little egg sac things and make sure it's very dead, and then bring it back with us without directly touching it.
The inside of it is almost like cartilage. It's thin, hard, and sharp, and crunches under your heel. The outside shell, as you stomp on it, pops. It's not really full of anything other than a very thin, not even like water, incredibly thin liquid. And you just kind of take what's left of the shell and the thing inside and keep it for knowledge sake.
Hey,
Cammy,
doctor, what do we do with this?
I am going to be sick. I am ill. We are going to find a hospital. I have a series of things I would like to try while we are in transit to a medical facility.
I don't think there is a medical
We're gonna find one. We're gonna find one. We're gonna go ask somebody. We're gonna go talk to somebody because we're not just. Nope. We gotta figure this out.
here in Riverton, it's not a huge place. It's a big enough community that surely there are doctors or healers that you could find somewhere. And as you move, what are you trying to do?
Okay.
You have thoughts.
It's my first try.
Okay.
First, I've collected a sampling here of spells that maybe I can say or try and apply here. The first is Chill Touch.
Still touch yourself.
Okay.
I'm going to try and create an uninhabitable biome.
For herself.
We're treating this like cancer.
We're doing what the immune system does.
If
Just
we had
turn
a
the
bottle of
thermostat
small
way up
poison,
and-
I'd dunk that. I'd shoot that back. I really would.
You do not want to be full of this horrible thing anymore.
Uh-huh. So, I understand it's negative damage, but I'm going to. It's Chill Touch. We can freeze my eggs.
And save
You
them.
said in my paragraph they would be weak to freezing.
They are,
I know it's not ice damage,
but it is not
but it's
cold damage.
chill
It's chill like
touch.
the chill of the grave.
which is
It
still
is
cold.
The touch of undeath,
It is cold.
which they also probably don't like,
They might not like it.
but it is not cold. You attempt to chill touch yourself, and they kind of sprayed all across you. You've got like in your overalls and your shirt, you've got a bunch of little holes where they all burrowed into you. These wounds
To yourself.
surprisingly bloodless, as they're mostly blocked, as these little orange globes seem to self-seal the wounds they've left behind. Their own shell kind of staunching any bleeding that you would have.
Do we have like a pen or a pencil or something, a stick on us maybe?
Yeah, of course. There's lots of sticks.
I'm gonna try and shove one in to keep one of the holes from closing. At least I need an access point.
Oh yeah, no, the outside of the holes are like the tip of the thumb.
Okay.
The exterior of these little orbs. They just kind of went and just sucked in through the small little hole.
I'm
So
plugging it up.
Definitely.
I'm plugging it
stab
up
away.
and I'm shooting the chill touch. And
Precision chill touch.
that's the best I've ever rolled. 2 4s, 2 3s, and a 2. So it's that's 16.
Okay.
Awesome.
It's 12.
Thanks. I really
12
appreciate
points of
your
damage to
support.
yourself as MD feels a pain.
Feel the chill of the grave.
Chill the grave.
It's
and
cold, isn't it?
Mm.
That's crazy.
Feels
This-
like you're standing at the top of a mountain.
Okay.
This one that you shoot the chill touch in the hole for, the orange luster fades and it kind of shrivels and withers into a very thin, membranous film. But you can dig it out with the tip of your stick.
I'll
It's
do it.
painful and unpleasant,
Say less.
but
No, this whole experience is painful and unpleasant.
it's no longer a solid, cohesive thing. It tears, it rips, bits and chunks come out. And as you pull it out and the blood starts to flow freely and you feel this wound in your arm freed, the flesh, you're no longer stuck open trying to pull closed. You can still feel the stinging of its strange little cartilage, fingers, teeth, whatever those are inside you.
There's fingers in your wound.
It's like a
Okay.
Doesn't
bee
help.
stinger.
Okay.
Like a bee stinger.
Okay.
It's like a bee stinger
I feel like this is more likely to do something.
that turns you into like
Bees.
bees.
No,
No.
literally won't.
What do you mean?
You're not taking damage.
I'd consider it's a hostile action. It's not about taking damage. It's a hostile action.
What is it?
Needle of vengeance.
You could cast Needle of Vengeance on an individual egg, perhaps, but again, since it's a swarm of them that are burrowed into you, things that have singular targets aren't really going to affect them.
While we're
very
trying
well.
to come up with ideas, do we just in this world, would the town be something that might have like an ice house?
Yeah, probably. That's something that would be commonplace here.
I need to go there.
We
Take
just
me
freeze
there.
Put Cammy on ice.
You would make
gotta
making
go on
your way
ice.
back into town as she repeatedly attempts to cast damaging spells on herself. To
Yeah.
Stop
kill
hitting
this
yourself.
infestation.
No,
Stop hitting
that,
yourself.
that is an appropriate response
It may-
for this.
It's
Yeah.
very appropriate for right now, as you have an alien chestburster inside you.
I would argue this
You-
is worse than a
I
chest burster.
command they leave.
You look,
A chest burster kills you. This turns you into a sock and
you
wears
look
you.
through town. What healing services there are? There are some simple doctors who quite immediately realize how out of their depth they are.
I'll show them the
And
little
tell you
egg
there's,
thing.
There's little, they have no idea what they're looking at. There's little they can do other than stitch your wounds closed. A surgeon in town offers to remove what he can, but seeing the single hole that you've already used a stick to fish out, doesn't imagine that's going to massively help. It will aid you, but at the end of the day, the consensus you find is that this infestation is smaller than actual globes, strange creatures that are embedded in your skin. It's in you. It's in your blood now. This is something you have to fight off like the plague. Speaking of, anti-plagues, very common, certainly would be available for purchase in Riverton.
Yeah.
You'd easily be able to pick up a couple of them and hope that they would do something, but with a morning, even an afternoon of searching, there's no one here that's qualified to deal with this. Ice numbs the pain, but doesn't particularly help.
No.
What do you got?
It's chilling darkness.
Oh my god.
It does
You're about
5d6
to
cold
cold
damage.
Fireball yourself.
I don't want to be pregnant. I don't want to be a little
It's
skin
in your
husk.
blood already.
It's a
Well-
disease at this point.
Chilling darkness.
Couldn't
You
give her a
want
blood
case?
transfusion.
I'll let you do it. Just
She has to
remember,
learn
you're
herself.
hurting MD.
He took 12. 7 so far? Like 8. Like
and then
around there.
44 on the
And you have
Also,
plenty of
you
time
can
throughout
hurt
the day to
yourself and
continue
heal 'em.
healing yourself up. You use ice from town. You blast yourself with chilling darkness. You do a variety of things that feel like maybe they will help.
Go buy medicine.
I'm going to give you a circumstance bonus
Okay.
on the save
for
when it
being
comes
very
around
cold.
for the
Okay.
things you've done, but it does not end the
Because
disease.
I'm willing to chilling darkness myself just out. I've got breath of life ready.
I'm gonna say that we go and pick up like 10 anti-plagues,
This is
Just
guerrilla
as a-
medicine.
just as a general supply.
Yeah. How much are anti-plagues?
Like
Super cheap. We can
5
like regular
gold.
anti-plagues. There's upgraded
What's an
versions.
anti-plague?
I'd say Riverton is like a level 5 town. It's like Thrushmoor was.
I will
It's a
figure
bit.
that.
It's a fair bit smaller than Thrushmoor. But I also say like a level 5 town because they're kind of where they're centrally located in the River Kingdoms. They have a lot more trade coming through because being the only port that functions is pretty good. The only dry dock, to be sure.
Okay.
But we can figure out the prices on that and what you could get at level 5 if you could get upgraded ones during our break. But during the day, there's
them marked.
nothing that removes the infestation entirely. As you travel throughout the day, though, MD, I would need you to make a fortitude save.
Because I got it too.
No, I forgot. Do you want me to apply my medical practices to you?
Is that a 1?
Hey!
Oh.
The good news, you're not sickened. You are fatigued and slowed 1.
Oh no. What's happening?
You only have 2 actions, just ongoing. As you are so overwhelmed by this infestation, it's hard to move.
We might need a few more of those anti-plagues.
What all does an anti-plague? We haven't had to
Gives you a
deal
little
with
bit
this
of a
yet.
bonus to the save when it comes around.
It wouldn't have helped
Let's
me
get
there.
some of those.
But stocking up with those, taking some anti-plagues, resting and doing the best that you can. By late in the afternoon, the ships have been separated and the hull and the Starling's hull has been repaired. If you're going to stay in Riverton, you're going to be doing it alone. And there are bigger things to pursue here. You have a good stock of anti-plagues in a dream. As you, well, don't really have much choice there to get back on the ship.
Guys, let's not tell Skywin about anything that happened.
I got Cthulhu.
Good news. Just lessers. Graders are level 10.
Oof, all right, Lessers it is. Well, welcome to the Infested Club. Marius, your club president.
I'm a little afraid to touch you, but okay.
It's gone and contagious. And you're already dead.
You're not contagious, but what are they going to do? Kill you?
Yeah. Oh no.
Do you want an undead version of one of
Moderates are
those?
6.
I will say that your horrifying experience with this plague throughout the day is definitely going to be a stress check from everyone, not just Cammy and MD.
Rolled an 18. Unbothered.
You have bigger
15.
You two have bigger things to worry
Yeah.
about.
Oh no.
2.
Oh.
This is
Wait, I can
terrible.
I can reroll these or I can't.
You can hero point it.
I can hero, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, maybe I should. Should I?
It's only
You
one.
tell
think
me.
you
You look at
should.
where you are right
It's
now.
only
You rolled a 2
one.
and you took 1. What do you have, Marius?
I got a 2, but
can
honestly, I'm like, I don't know
handle
why
He's
this
only
is
moving
stressing me out. I feel like I blew it up.
I got
because
a,
it's horrifying.
I got a 3.
Have you ever
Dancing
seen
on that
botflies?
edge.
I'm aware of them. Yeah.
You want to see that happen to somebody 15 times in 2 seconds?
As the ship leaves Riverton, Reese, equally horrified by the experiences and story of your day, upset that she had no idea this was happening just down the road between the town and the dry dock, and with no answers as to what this thing even was.
Age 18 years. Weird alien swarm
You would have
infestation.
one more thing you had found in Riverton before you departed. After this battle and after you've done what you can, Trey obviously expressed some amount of interest in carrying one of these things around, figure out what it is you're even trying to treat.
Yeah. Like
Reese,
I would literally
hearing this,
ask people about it.
would have gone to see the site herself. The group of you hurried away very quickly for obvious reasons. Cammy is dying,
If anybody is going back to that site, I would be going with
and
them,
you would come with her.
just in case.
Yeah.
And she
no,
would
that's
be,
a good idea.
The two of you would have looked for any signs of what this thing was, where it came from. It does not appear to be a natural creature. This is insane. Or maybe you just watch guard while Reese investigates. But up in the tree, where the thing jumped down from, she finds a small little nest. It's about the size of a basketball, maybe, seemingly woven of the same material as this thing's skin. This smooth, fleshy exoskeleton that's just wrapped around like a bowl. And in it are 5 thumb-sized rough rubies. Which would find little else of interest, but obviously bring this back to the rest of the party. Rough, uncut, pure little gemstones.
Yeah, ship's doing something weird.
Is that gonna? Do the rubies turn into them? Or do they just like shiny things?
You want me to break one and find out?
Rubies. Is this
Yeah.
you'd speak on?
I will take one and I will shatter it.
As a ruby,
Yes.
it is like below diamond on the hardest things that exist. But
I have
it's
a
pretty
raising
close.
weapon.
That's
It does bonus damage to a
Fantasy.
thing. It's a magical raising
You
thing.
have okay.
I mean, don't you have a hammer you could just pull off your little charm bracelet?
It is magical and
It is
raising.
a solid hunk of gemstone.
I don't need
But
to destroy it.
you
I need
could-
to scratch
You
it.
lay it on the ground and go at it with your. I mean, you have a magically reinforced hobgoblin weapon.
I just
It
need
would
to
take
scratch
you
it.
like an attempt to scratch across it wouldn't prove completely fruitless. You could mar the surface of the thing.
Yeah,
of
that
course.
just
It's
proves to me that it's a
indestructible.
ruby instead of a weird egg thing.
And if you were to take a big swing in it, you could like cleave little chips out of it. You could theoretically
Cut it.
destroy it.
I have a magically enhanced.
You don't have the
giant
best
chisel.
possible tools for it, but like it does definitely seem to react as a ruby would.
That's all I need is like it can chip and it can scratch. It's not a weird egg thing. This was used as some kind of weird summoning thing, I guess.
Take your medicine and go to sleep.
Oh, and we can get as many as we want. They're 3 gold.
Yeah, you can. I figured that the cheap ones are like cheap. That's why I was like, I'm not
Alright, so
worried
we get
about
20 of them.
Yeah,
feel
I
like
would be
this
fine
is-
getting
it.
20
Now,
of them.
notably,
Some timey-wimey.
it
It's a
seems like
plus
there
2.
is little that you can do other than just kind of hope this malady passes. The anti-plagues may help. Cammy's treatments maybe make a difference.
Hey, a +2 makes a huge difference.
Colby,
Yes.
MD at the moment, is worse than Cammy after the end of the day. Him focusing all of his efforts on trying to heal you. By the time you get back to the ship, you realize that he is suffering far worse than you are.
We're about to have
Gotcha.
2 sock
Touch him.
buddies.
The good news is that
Oh,
these are all the results of a very physical malady, this literal parasitic infestation. From everything you know, it's not something that should persist in the dream.
We don't know. For sure.
It's a literal physical parasite.
Yeah,
Yeah, but we bring.
we'll find out.
things in.
It could be a dream parasite.
Dream
Parasite.
As we're preparing to get ready to do the ritual, feeling like I'll shoot it.
You need my bow.
He's sickened still.
Yep.
You're sickened too.
Wait, what's
Yes.
the main check for the
I would
ritual?
like to hold on.
It's a
Everybody
cultist.
chill out. I want to take a minute before we go because this is easily the least ready that I've ever felt to go into the dream or to lead the ritual. And in light of recent events, I would like to kind of just take a moment to myself. Probably not in the cabin, probably somewhere more private. If it's getting late, maybe out on the top deck or something. I'm gonna pull out Greenie and I'm going to try and pray to my patron. Contact, like sort of like meditate, just as sort of a last stitch, like Hail Mary, like this, like I'm in over my head, and I just found out
Help
that
me.
you're around.
Help me. You
My little
commune-
guy.
You commune with
What are
Greenie
we gonna do?
every morning. That's where your spells come from.
Yeah,
Hold
but this
him
happened
soft like
after the
timber.
morning.
You commune with Greenie every morning. That's where your magic comes from. But now it's different. This is desperate. This is
Yes.
his plea.
Just like,
for help. This is a desperate prayer that someone somewhere can do something to help you with this. And Greenie looks at you, and you feel this concern. Greenie's not pleased with this either. He's a smart little guy. And again, he puts his little fingers together and reaches up and just kind of gently pets the side of your cheek. But you don't feel anything change.
I guess that's all we can do. Unless you have some way of getting in contact with her. I don't remember.
Well,
Okay then.
And so you head down. It's late afternoon when the ship leaves. Evening, only little sunlight left as it gets underway. Hoping that if nothing else, that this will perhaps give you some relief from the pain of the day. Hiroku-san has a hero point. He has 2 hero points. He just says Bard.
I had a whole thing before.
Rogue.
Thank you.
Villain.
The boys are low on hero points. Our bard, our rogue, the average human, and the tattooed orc, the GM, a villain point because Trey doesn't need hero points.
Yes, I do.
Villain. I have 2 now.
Thank you, Roku-san.
There you go. Roku-san, thank you for the support.
It's fluid motion, which there's a lot of fluid motion inside of me right now.
I don't like that sentence.
Channel like
You can pick a different
We had
one.
to listen to worse sentences come out of your mouth.
He's just a little guy.
It's a bunch of little guys.
He's just a little guy.
Oh, stop.
She comes.
That was the
you.
sound effect it made when it slurped into your arm.
Awesome, dude.
Arrange for the
so
ritual.
Excited.
I'm just.
Stop.
Oh,
No.
why?
No.
That's every step you take.
Hoping that at the very least you can make some progress and gain some temporary relief from this horrible malady. Fortunately, slowed isn't really going to affect you. Sickened 2, however,
Yeah.
very much is.
I'm not even the one making the checks for these.
Oh, that's true. It wouldn't affect you anyway. Easy.
I'm already like asleep on the ground, like next to Reese.
He's just ready, and Reese sits
Ready to
down
go.
on the ground, just like this.
and just kind of looks across the group. Her eyes kind of linger on Easy for a moment.
I'm clean. Don't worry.
And then you take out the small little staircase, and Cammy, you start your incantations before you pass it around the circle. And as you go to pass the stairs to Trey, as you have so many times before, you feel a burning on your leg, like a hot coal was sitting on your skin. And you immediately flinch and realize it's the big ruby in your pocket. We're going to take our midstream break. We're going to stand up, stretch our legs, get some snacks. It's usually about 10 minutes. I say usually, there's a literal timer. It's about 10 minutes. You know what you could do with that time? You could also get some snacks, get some drinks. Check out some of our sponsors. Arc and Forge, the funny maps that we have on here. They're really good map making software and virtual tabletop. I love them. Eldritch Foundry, source of all our minis. Norse Foundry, creator of all of our dice. Any of those 3 platforms, you can use code UGTShow to get yourself a variety of deals and help support us while getting yourself some cool stuff. Don't go too far, everybody. We'll be right back.
Follow those
Positive.
people.
That's magic.
Hi.
Hello.
Howdy.
We use these 10 minutes.
Yes,
Like
we are thinking.
at the buzzer, theory crafting
That
and
really
trying
snuck
to
up on me this time.
figure out what to do with our
We
lives.
didn't get a warning. Usually we get a countdown.
He was actively. Arcadis was literally
We were-
counting
I
out
heard-
verbally
I was
from
zoned.
10.
There were
Like,
so many numbers being tossed
No, we
around.
were really gaming out.
I
They
was
were gaming.
updating. I was bookkeeping and like.
It turns out 2 people getting infested by an Iskalug.
I'm gonna continue
One
to
of
bother
which
you with.
is at stage 3.
Let's just remember this is an improv show. Let's,
I'm
gonna-
spooked.
huh?
Most
Did
diseases
you
into
say
stage
stage?
3. That's not the.
You
good
know
stuff.
you're at 3. You failed and then critically failed.
I don't want to be there.
Let's,
Don't
yeah,
tell
no,
me
it's
numbers.
not good. It's definitely not
It
good.
did not even occur to me when you got hit during that fight because I did not listen to anything else past you're pregnant.
You just, it's like
Space.
tonight.
After that happened, I was like,
ringing sound in your ears.
Time to read.
As we come back in, we are gathered around the ritual circle, as we've done so many times before in the cabin of the Sullen Starling, trying to transport ourselves to another plane, to the Dreamlands, to continue collecting these strange treasures, hoping that maybe, just maybe, we can get some answers as to our past. As we sit around this circle, we're going to introduce ourselves in a little bit of a different order this time. We're going to start with Cammy, the focus of this. You channeling through this little metal staircase. Introduce yourself.
Well, my name is Sully, and I play Cammy, the itty bitty gnomish witch who's feeling more than a itty bitty sick right now, but trying to put that aside as I roll this staircase in between my hands.
In this ritual, first, she usually passes the stairs too.
Trey. Howdy. I'm Dirk, and I play Trey, also known as Huglum, or Trey Huglum, the frontline fighter who has 16 intelligences and is actually the guy who rolls arcane for these rituals.
Which is crazy. Then it gets handed across to
Easy. I'm Kevin. I play
That's
Easy.
your line.
I play just a normal human bard. Just glad to be not the one sick. I mean, not sharing food with my friends as much as often, and just glad to just go back.
next. A newer member of the party, Reese, would usually take the stairs. Her portion of the ritual as important as any other, and just kind of standing off to the side, waiting for his moment and watching his.
MD. I am Colby. I play MD, who's laying on the ground behind Reese, like immediately.
Laying on the floor.
MD standing for mostly dead, which we have now. We're mostly there.
And as anyone who kind of looked back towards MD as he lays on the floor there would notice that the whites of his eyes, not just bloodshot from the sickness, were starting to be tinged with orange coming in from the edges. Finally, the staircase would be handed over to our fifth and final member.
Marius, played by me, Marcus, I'm a cool dwarf ranger.
And as this goes, Roku-san, you know the rules, and so do I. After I spend my points, I spend my dosh on my chaotic antics. A wheel for the party to have a fun time. A woe for the GM to have a fun time. We all have fun here. And
I
as
know
the
what would be
ancient
fun.
fey worm that I am, I relish every minute of it. At the beginning of this ritual, you took the stairs, and as you went to pass in the tray, you felt this burning in your pocket. Realized it was this ruby that you had been handed by this strange priest back in Riverton, not far behind you. And as you noticed that, Nebula 315, I missed the first half. I was baking sister's birthday cake.
Aw.
Here, Sully, I hope this point helps.
That's adorable. Thank you.
What you got?
What flavor?
Hope your sister
Drop
had
it
a
up.
happy
Yeah,
birthday.
thank you. What kind
Okay,
of
it's on the ball there. You
Say one track mind. Thank you. Push through the pain. I'm fine, but that one took a lot out of me.
You today,
Two types
you
of
feel
people.
this ruby burning to the point where like it is painful to touch. It's like touching the stove against your leg inside your pocket. It's all you can do to finagle it out of your pocket while trying not to lose focus on the staircase and the ritual here. Chocolate peanut butter. It tumbles to the floor, looking no different than it had earlier that day. The rest of you, Reese included, all looking at this huge gemstone on the floor like, what is wrong with you?
Can I? So it's just on the center of the floor now?
It's just next to you on the floor.
Without trying to, I'm being very careful because I don't want to disrupt the ritual, and I know it's a delicate process, but I am a spirit of curiosity. Can I just sort of try and like, is it is it still burning? It's still.
As you touch it, it's hot. You can like briefly touch it, but having it held against your leg was like agony.
I detected aura on earlier.
We're just
Yeah.
watching this, having no idea why she's acting this
Yeah,
way.
she's
I
just
don't know what to do with it.
poking a very normal gemstone. You don't see anything wrong. And Reese looks at the group. What are you doing?
It's burning. It's burning.
It looks perfectly normal.
It's burning.
Told you it
Still
was
do
a
the
weird dream rock.
Focus.
I'm distracted. I'm sorry. I'll keep scanning as I'm like still like eyeing this ruby.
And you hand the stairs over towards Trey, who makes an Arcana check.
I actually rolled mine with my character
That
introduction.
was like 5 minutes ago.
I know, it's been sitting there. It's a 30. I rolled a 16.
Well, a 30 succeeds.
Yeah, also, I'm Terry now.
I'm pretty sure you gotta
Is
be
that what Terry? I was
no,
wondering
Terry
what,
gets a hero point.
what exactly Terry's supposed to be. Probably an autocorrective Trey. Yeah, but Trey's also a word, but
Oh,
it's probably just
Terry.
like a misswipe. All right, Terry. I'm gonna assume this is you.
Well, if they
Take a
went
hero point for Magus
T-A-R-Y
points.
by accident, it would
Oh, it might
autocorrect.
go to Terry. That's true. I see.
Terry Hugglem.
And I got Surge of Speed. I like this one.
You hand the staircase to
Very quickly.
Easy for his performance check.
Let's go. 14 plus a
Total.
lot plus 19 is 33.
33
2 successes.
is a regular success.
34 because I have a plus 1.
4 is a critical
Yes.
success, so
Yes.
that does
Yay.
matter.
We need
the
that. We
background
need
music.
that.
Floating
Those are
plus
nothing
2
to
to
it.
negate the second that Cammy is currently dealing with.
Mm-hmm.
It gets handed to Reese, still holding it. And as always, as it gets passed around, there's no visible change. As you take the staircase around the circle, all involved in the ritual, see and feel it get bigger, get heavier, swelling up to the last. Marius can usually barely hold this as he hands it to Cammy as he drops it to the floor. But you hand it over to Reese as you've done a bunch of times before, with more difficulty than usual. Let go of it. What is it? It's like pulling.
What's
It's
going
like pulling.
Hand it to her.
I have it.
Okay,
But like
okay.
why is it pulling?
Pulling
To
where?
that, to the rock, the ruby.
Focus. Focus. Hand
Like
on her back.
it's pulling towards the. It's pulling towards the ruby.
She's not even like holding it in her hands. She has her hands like cupped behind
Oh, it's
it.
like
it's
pulling.
like pulling.
Touch it.
Make me a diplomacy check for her.
I get to roll a 19 on the die, whatever her bonuses are.
Critical success.
Why can't I do that?
She
For fort saves.
hands it over to Marius. As you can feel the stairs starting to get warm as you take them. For your survival check.
Getting unusually warm. It really wants to go.
Is it
Okay, that's a 14. 14 for 28.
Regular success. And finally back to Cammy. As you trying to hold on to this heavy, warm, intricately carved focus for the ritual. 2 critical successes gives you a +4, sicken 2, puts you at a +2 total. Give me your occultism check.
It's still trying to pull towards the ruby.
It's still trying to pull, and it's starting to heat up.
Does Cammy have enough body weight to hold it?
That's a fair.
It's like two-handed at this point. Like it starts as like a little palm-sized trinket, and it gets up to where you can have to grasp it like this because it's a big, sturdy
No.
square, like the size of the dice trays, basically.
I follow my own rules. Wait, if it wasn't that this would affect the whole party, I'm so sorely tempted just to let go and like let it go. But I think that would not be fair. Although I am tempted. 17 on the die, so that's going to be 38.
Plus the 4 minus the 2.
Is that with the bonus from your critical?
Oh no,
succeed
I added
abilities?
with the
Okay.
the overall plus 2.
38. As you go to drop the staircase, cast down the middle of the circle as you always do. You drop this heavy weight and hear the clatter of stone on wood as the ruby is physically pulled, rolling across the floor into the middle as both disappear into the ground. There is a red flash of energy as the stairs fall down into the wooden floor of the ship cabin, revealing the staircase leading down to the darkness as it always does, but with a blast almost like red lightning. You two.
No. Wheel or the woe? Is it the
The woe.
Oh no.
That depends.
No.
Roll a dice. This is a dice game.
This lightning is going to jump to one of you. I'm going to count to 3. 1, 2, 3. On 3, both of you raise your hand if you want to be the one to take it. If you both take it,
Screw you, dude. No. I don't want to do this.
bad things will happen.
If you
Prisoner
both
dilemma.
take it, bad things will happen.
This is the wheel. This is a very good thing.
Are
This
you
is
sure?
wheel or no wheel?
It's wheel or no
It's
wheel?
the Wheel of Fortune.
If it doesn't do something good, it's not no
If
wheel.
neither of us
Very
take it,
good. If neither of you take it, neither of you take it. If both of you take it, things will happen.
Can I
Are you
also
allowed to
raise
be
my
looking
hand?
at each other this long?
Yeah. He didn't say it. Hold on. So if you raise your hand, then you're taking it.
On 3,
And that's
raise
the-
your
the
hand if
good
you
thing is
want to
taking
take
it.
the wheel. If you both raise your hand, bad times ahead, friend.
Okay.
Neither of you raise your hand, just nobody gets it.
That doesn't seem like a wheel.
It's really
It
good.
seems mean.
No, it's really good.
It's double or
I
nothing.
know. What you do? You twinkle your little fingers.
If both of you raise your hand, it's the woe.
Okay.
Ah.
Okay.
And behind door number 3.
Okay.
1, 2, 3.
I knew he wasn't going to raise his hand. Colby wouldn't do that.
The lightning surges into Cammy, and you feel a strange flash of cold.
You should be taking this, but I knew you wouldn't raise your hand, and somebody needs to take it.
As this jumps through your body, you feel like the sensation of a pimple popping, but all over you. This connection to the dreamland, this connection to the ruby, purges the Ischologia from you completely. You are cured.
That must have felt so satisfying.
I'm going to go take a lap around the studio. Thank you, Colby. I knew he wasn't going to. Somebody needed to. He was never going to raise his hand because Colby's just a very good guy. I knew he wasn't going to take it.
And the
So
good-
that is a big thank you both to Yoroka-san and to Colby.
The good news is we're going to the dream. He's not going to feel
No, if it
either.
was if it was up, I would raise my hand immediately.
Oh my god.
No, I would not have raised my hand if it was between
The
us.
stairs are open, and quickly MD pulled by Reese into the circle here.
Oh
You-
my gosh, that feels so good.
Descend
Hold on, I just need to let that sit.
with
Oh.
the rest of your group, with your
Go
friends,
away.
down into the darkness.
Just roll down the stairs. Just roll me.
You had. Oh, you actually, right, you have 2. Which one are we doing? Don't you have 2 right now?
We
oh,
do.
yeah, no, you
It's
had
just
2.
No, we.
Huh?
No,
We
you
do have
have
two. No, we
You
do have 2.
We have
But we wanted to do
ostentatiousness.
ostentatiousness, please.
ostentatiousness for
Ostentatiousness?
500.
Because we found it first.
Okay. I forgot you had secured also Greenie. You had 2 of them.
Yes.
Yeah.
Ostentatiousness. For a brief recap, you are seeking the Night Hag Ambassador's Heartstone here. A target that of everything you've pursued is the one perhaps is you know the most about, the most direct item. You even know the name of the Night Hag you seek, Quaviandro. An ambassador and soul trader who lives in the city of Dilath Lean. A grim construct of black basalt sprawling across the Dreamlands. You know that while normally a Night Hag's Heartstone's magic fades very rapidly when taken from the hag, hers in particular, through enchantments that she has woven over a very long lifespan, keeps its power much, much longer. You know she is an insufferably imperious woman with a huge, unnecessary retinue of retainers. And as you descend down the stairs, as always, what?
I took really good notes for this one.
Did you? You
Yeah.
had pretty much everything I just covered? You good?
Energizer Heartstone, Interdimensional Ambassador, her name, way too many servants, insufferable.
That's saying something because Colby doesn't take a lot of notes at all.
You like that one.
There's
Spoke to him.
a lot.
Put a lot of work into
Here's
that.
There's a lot on the lizards too. There's oof on that one.
You make your way down the stairs, feeling your feet touch something solid, even as everything around you fades to black, transitioning between planes. Normally, there's that one final jarring step where you arrive at your destination. But this time, something a little different happens. Just the stairs change a little. This unseen void you walk through is hard, perfectly solid, but it gives way to something softer, cloth like a carpet. The blackness around you starts to lighten with the dim glow of lanterns as you see a colorful and ornately decorated stairwell that you're descending down. Near the bottom, as you arrive into a relatively spacious chamber. A vaulted ceiling overhead, barely visible through a hanging haze of blue smoke. An area full of soft, round couches and plush things almost like beanbags scattered around, some just in groups, some against the wall, some by tables. Several golden braziers, incredibly elaborate, ornate hookahs, small tables, a carved wall pierced by curtained archways leading into different sections of this den. People scattered around, enjoying the services of this parlor. Many, you're not even sure if they're conscious, alive, even. Some chatting quietly, some laughing, most simply lost in a haze. Very colorful, now a very accurate analogy of super colorful opium den would be incredibly on point. Yes.
Would it be like a pesh den?
Pesh den?
Pesh den.
I don't think so.
No,
Don't tease me.
This right here is where the caterpillar from Alice in Wonderland
Oh,
lives.
The
with
hookah den.
is that hookah? Is that what it's called?
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
a-
they
they're
literally
called
said this.
hookahs,
They're
yes.
like hookahs all over the place. Yes, they're like gilded hookahs set on tables and next to chairs. And
It's all about what
different
you're
little burning
smoking in the
bowls,
hookah.
and they're smoking a lot of things
Wait,
in here.
So if it's like the caterpillar, then could we meet Centipede?
Probably.
Oh
already
my
did.
gosh.
As
That's
you
the
arrive,
low. That's
you can see that there are clearly three categories of people in here. There are the patrons, many barely conscious, passed out in their seats or just clinging to consciousness, nursing the ends of these little hoses attached to their hookahs, desperately trying to stay awake long enough to just get a little bit more. There are hosts, all universally very attractive, swirling about in their jackets or their ornate dresses and gowns with small
You
serving
mean all
plates
like
of
average, right?
Yeah, they're all
very
average.
average looking.
They're all really
hosts
average.
swirling
Fives all
throughout
around.
the area with trays or bowls of various materials, small tiny glasses or little rolled bits of fibrous plants or powders. And there is a night hag directly across from you, near unmistakable, sitting with elaborately coiffed hair stacked up near a foot above her head in black curls, framed by two curling horns on either side.
Oh,
What could only be the visage of Quaviandra sits across the room from you, surrounded by several retainers. Soft music drifts through the area, performed by a strange string instrument none of you have really seen before. Something that stands on the ground, tall and long, almost like a bass, but with very thin strings plucked out akin to a harp, played by a bard in the corner. As the group of you, looking quite different from the patrons down here in this den, approach, Quaviandra meets your gaze near immediately and raises a peculiar eyebrow.
Walk on over. We have all our magic,
Where's
like
Trey?
dream stuff.
You have all of your dream stuff with
I
you,
still in
including
the
you would literally
stuff.
have in your hand a rod
Yeah.
and a skull that you would not even manage to stash yet.
I'd like to put on my crown, just to be clear.
Okay.
Hand to the
Just
skull
to-
and put it in the bag.
Just to be specific as
Um,
we're entering.
And I'm not feeling the effects of the disease either, right?
You are not, no.
I look
Neither am
I'm in
I.
my prime.
You're not feeling the effects of your disease, and as you approach, you guys feel several things, actually, or rather the lack of some things. Gemi, you don't feel that unease that strange paranoia that I'll admit I pretty much always forget to do anyway as you approach
Try to just be
Quaviandra.
paranoid with everybody and make it up for it.
You can be regular paranoid, but you're not like
Hmm.
broken paranoid. Easy, you feel strangely refreshed. And you, Trey, oddly calm.
And I'm here too.
And Marius is
Aw.
also here.
That was so sad.
So,
He does
a
how I
question,
feel.
because this is suppressing the effects of our
Madnesses.
madnesses. One of mine is a positive effect. I would imagine that is also suppressed.
Yes.
Oh, that is interesting.
That is interesting.
As you approach, she leans back and just looks across the group of you. Well, you're an odd bunch, aren't you? 5 faces I don't recognize.
Ah, you can join the club.
It's enough to make a woman paranoid.
Apologies for the intrusion.
Oh, it's no private den, of course. I don't own the place, but it is a strange coincidence that you would choose tonight of all nights for such heavily armed folk to seek their own relaxation.
Why is that?
Simply because I am here. Because I am here and I have chosen this very evening to unwind myself. I don't frequent this den particularly often. Certainly not enough to recognize your faces. Are you regulars?
No.
Passing through.
Then what brings you to Dilathlene?
Well,
Word of mouth. Heard about this place.
Interesting. Well, you weren't led astray if you found here. There's a reason I've arrived. When I and my retainers are due for an evening of rest, there's no better den in all of Dilathlene. I dare say all of not just the Dreamlands, but perhaps several planes included. You've not been led astray. So you here of no particular purpose, then? Not that any have much purpose seeking a place such as this.
just looking for someone to show us the ropes a little bit.
I don't mean to intrude, sir, only perhaps to wonder. I apologize for my rather rude introduction, but things have been difficult for me as of late. It's difficult for me not to be suspicious of strange new faces and strange new places.
Oh, I'm suspicious of everyone I meet, so.
Well, perhaps while you're here, we could do a bit of an exchange. I have quite a bit of wealth that I'm more than willing to part with if you'll aid me. If you are strange faces of no particular connection, I can think of no better.
I believe we fit the bill.
What's the job?
And she turns to a small pouch that's just sat on a bench next to her and pulls up a little bag, smaller bag out of the bigger bag. And inside, she starts to lay on a table in front of her 5 about thumbnail-sized, rectangular, perfectly cut, bright blue sapphires. Each of these perfectly pure and quite valuable. I exchange them only for information. Information you may not have, but that I hope you could aid me in gathering.
What do you seek?
Security. Safety. To sate an old gal's curiosity. You all seem, and she looks down at your various weapons and armor.
Armed to the teeth.
Not currently drawn.
Yeah, but you have them.
Yeah.
But you all seem very experienced. I've been having a rash of bad luck recently. Wouldn't be the first or the last of several times an attempt on my life was made. And I believe, perhaps in my moment of quiet safety here, another may be imminent. If you were to intervene on my behalf, well, these riches could well be yours.
What would make you think that anybody was gonna attack you?
As I said, it wouldn't be the first time I've had my food poisoned. I've had an anonymous gift of a cursed robe that would have trained me with my magic. I was ambushed by a group of strange faces I didn't recognize, much like yourselves. And you know, it's enough to make me a fair bit paranoid. But I digress. I believe that now, here, with much of my retainers, well, deservedly incapacitated, they've done well. I'm still here, after all. What better opportunity to strike? In fact, I've done a bit of an investigation of myself. I believe with everything that has happened in the past few weeks, it's all but certain that this is originating from a member of my own. A two-faced vagabond of my own number who wishes to see me done in. Even got a short list of suspects for you. Truly, the easiest riches you'll ever earn.
Would you like them questioned or eliminated?
If you can identify exactly who is responsible, eliminated would be fine by me. But I do much enjoy all of their company, and they are quite useful, so I'd prefer you didn't simply off all three. I'm paying for discretion, you see. Agreeable?
Yes.
I don't want to hold you from your own entertainments this night. Please, of course, feel free to partake of the den's delights. But keep in mind what you may leave on the table. And she gestures to the gemstones again. Well, as I say, a list of names, short and simple. A steward named Amanetta. I believe she's in one of the adjoining chambers here nearby. There is an astrologian, a fortune teller whose entertainments I quite enjoy, named Daltheth. You'll probably find him somewhere in some level of consciousness. And you hear that sweet song hanging on the air? That's Kavriki, my bard. Do very much believe one of them is responsible, and I have a little more to offer you. Round at the back, down the hall, there is a private chamber that I've rented for the evening for me and me alone. You're free to use it. Take each of them in there, interview them quietly, report back on which of them you believe is the assassin. If you've reason to or need to defend yourself if accusations leveled, I'll shed no real tears if the culprit is slain. But again, discretion. Yes?
Of course.
That's our middle name.
Enjoy the city's vices, then.
We'll be seeing you soon.
I'll be here. And so she kind of leans back. You are left here in this drug den with 3 names and a general sense of direction. She would motion to one of her nearby retainers who would kind of hand you brief little descriptions and sketches of each of the 3 to save you an amount of just kind of wandering around asking for names.
Like last time.
And as you look throughout the drug den, which is relatively small, the area is sort of just one big outer ring of 4 interconnected parlors and a bar at the very back. In front of the bar is a doorway that leads into Quaviander's private chambers. It's not locked or even closed all the way. Quaviander seems to command enough respect and presence that she feels no real need to seal off her private chambers, assuming surely nobody is going to use them without her explicit permission, like you now have to use for your interviews. So, friends, what do?
Go get the bard first.
Yeah, nice and easy. Ask the bard for a private affair.
Can we check the room to see if anybody's put any like traps in there, expecting her to go in?
Absolutely, you can.
Bar will go check the room.
Sure.
So as you go around and just kind of, what are you all? I guess what are you all doing as you come through? In case
I'm off to get the bard.
You're heading off to get the bard. I'm on more like exploration activities as you're moving around.
Not.
That's what you don't have to. You can also just be there. Yep. That's for not is a valid exploration activity. They all mean that you are moving slowly, and like if you're seeking, you're moving at half speed. If you're doing any exploration activity, you're moving at half speed.
I'm just
you're
trying to
carefully
not look
canvassing.
suspicious.
So yeah, not blending in, kind of not taking one. That is a very valid option here. Stealth.
Stealthing. No, that's
Kind of, that's kind of like that's sort of like social stealth. Yeah, we got like the Assassin's Creed stealth of just don't look conspicuous.
Going. I think me and him are going to the room, and we're gonna be seeking.
Oh no, I guess I am technically using avoid notice, but it's deception instead of stealth.
That'll work. You two seeking, heading towards the room.
Can I get a hit?
Drugs. All right, your exploration activity.
She's blending in.
Doing drugs.
I
Oh,
want to blend in.
That's
really
fair.
good.
That's
I'm
not
also
blending
going to
in.
be with Dirk. Just
Okay.
blending in.
Two of you heading
Those of us
over
not doing drugs are
to
gonna stick
the
out.
bard. Two of you heading to check the room. And we'll start with Cammy. Cammy
You know I got it.
finding a seat and getting the attention of one of the hosts. And a very well-dressed man with a short, almost pointed goatee, dark skin, bright smile approaches you, nothing in hand, but bows his head. Yes. Any one of the treasures of Dilathleen for you, madame?
Yeah.
You definitely should ask for Shiver.
The combo meal?
What's
Number
like
5.
what's like a starter? Something that might relieve a little stress, kind of chill me out.
Relieve stress. A common pursuit here in this place. Well, if you're looking for something simple and you're new to our
Nothing.
merchandise-
I don't want anything intense. Like something just.
Though I must at least briefly recommend our personal specialty that we have here. What draws people from all around, not just Dilathleen, but much further beyond Succubus Dream. It is rather potent.
No.
You
then-
may be better perhaps with some Flayleaf or Shiver, maybe.
Flay leaf.
Flayleaf is
Shivers is exactly what you're asking.
Flayleaf.
Are you sure?
Yes.
I feel like
I'm not
'cause
even
you
joking.
said that one.
I'm not
like,
even
no.
Flayleaf is a very simple, mild introduction. Gentle hallucinogenic. Distilled from the dried leaves of a plant of the same name. Smoked through either a pipe or one of our hookahs here you're free to use.
Like casual, like sort of recreational. Is it
As everything we have.
addictive?
As are all vices, madame. I can't speak to your own willpower.
Let's do both.
Same time.
What are you doing?
Shiver!
That's why he's with me.
Shiver is a bit more potent, only a bit more so. If you wish to try something a fair bit more interesting, distilled from the venom of a very particular breed of spider from the material plane. Blended into the closest analogy I could present to you is a simple, almost cotton. It's soaked through, and the smoke produced when it's burned doesn't even need to be inhaled directly. It can be burnt like an incense. It's much of the blue haze in the top of this room here. A mild edge you may pick up just from your very presence here.
You can get secondhand from that. Well, I'm never gonna be up that high, so I'll do the flay leaf, please.
And after a quick few moments, a small little rolled bundle of what looks like just greenish twigs is presented before you.
Thank you.
Have you seen a child sneaking someone they're not supposed to
Does
be?
Cammy know
I'm
how
definitely
to use?
looking like somebody like you should be telling me no right
Does
now.
Cammy know how to use a hookah?
No.
Like,
I never knew how to use Pesh.
that's fair.
Well, to be fair, of my extensive Pathfinder drug knowledge, I'd lack the real life knowledge to actually know how to use a hookah. So,
Also
So
fair.
it's-
Before I leave you, have you seen any like suspicious activity?
We try not to
today?
look.
That's actually fair.
That's
You
good
know what?
customer
I'll stop
service.
bothering you. I'm going to leave, and I'm gonna take a honk off of it.
I'm sorry.
Told you to burn it.
Did you just chew it?
I always
It's
ate the
chewing-
Pesh.
Chewing tobacco.
I will eat the other ones as
No,
well.
Make a fortitude save.
For what it's worth, it would still work.
It would. That's why I said make a fortitude save. It's like, I mean, chewing tobacco exists.
You got this.
Flay leaf is basically super tobacco, so like it pretty much works.
This is the addiction
No, flea
check,
leaf
right?
is marijuana.
This
Or is this to make me
just,
sick?
Well, this is check the first is the flay leaf.
Okay.
Check the second
Is-
the addiction will come later.
Okay.
Could always look
Which was a
around and
So you
Fortitude,
can
wasn't
you
it?
this is it's a fortitude.
Okay.
You can't intentionally fail it because this is like for the flay leaf to do what the flay leaf is supposed
Oh
to do.
well, yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
if
Like-
that's the case, then
No,
yeah.
you
If
also
this
have-
is the get, if this
this is the get high check.
Okay. No, I'm here for this one. I need that. Yes, please. I would like to
So
submit
take a
myself
bite
to
off
the
of this.
practice.
It's very dry and brittle. as you're just kind of chewing on a little package very much meant to be burned.
Mm-hmm.
And as you chomp on it, you feel maybe the opposite of perhaps what you were expecting. I don't know what Cammy thinks is going to happen when she bites down this flavor.
Get less, feel better.
It's not so much a stressful thing as it's like a sharpness thing. You take a bite of this, and over the course of a minute or two, you feel focused. Your mind feels like clear. You are absolutely free of distractions. Weirdly, it's not debilitating at all. It doesn't feel like it anyway.
Here's something funny.
Yeah.
Because of the ritual, I am aware of her state of being.
At all times. You go to walk into the private chamber. You and Marius approach the door, and you feel that she is inebriated.
We leave her alone for 5 minutes. 5 minutes, Marius.
We're in the dream.
What's up? You feeling
Dream
okay?
Oh,
drugs.
I feel fine. Cammy feels even better.
Okay. I think
Even
Cammy just got
better.
diagnosed with ADHD.
Here's taking a Ritalin. All right.
It's both ways. We are aware of each other, but it's just so funny.
You two are coming to kind of check this private room, so make me perception checks.
I roll a natural 20.
Whoa.
Anyway. Okay, it's 13. 31.
I got a total of a 36.
31, 36, you both meet the DC, actually.
I will-
So as you go to the door, notice that the door is propped open a little bit for a reason. Because tucked just inside the frame is a small little mechanism on a hair trigger that would release a gas into the room if the door was pressed the rest of the way open.
Could be more drugs.
Good check.
And as you notice it, you see there is a small little switch on the side that kind of folds the trigger in that could just be kind of flipped as you walk through the door pretty subtly to disable it. You can, of course, easily do so. You know, this is not a trap you need to disarm. It has an off button.
Just turn it off.
Walking into the room, you would see a very ornate private chamber. It's decently spacious, filled with absolutely sumptuous pillows and couches spread throughout. It is a luxury chamber for the wealthiest patrons that come through this den, and Quaviandra is no exception. This is kind of on the surface level exactly what you expect it to be. Still a very colorful kind of Qadiran, almost like Arabian Nights sort of vibe, as much as the entire area has. But looking through the room with your natural 20, you don't see anything else out of the ordinary. It doesn't look like Quaviandra has any personal things in here. This all looks like it's just the stuff that comes with the room. The only addition is that little trap on the door.
As long as we're getting into shenanigans, does that trap look like something we could disassemble to take with us?
Not easily.
Okay.
And definitely not easily without setting it off.
So, how are we gonna question these people? Are you doing good cop, bad cop? You want to be the bad cop? You're gonna let Trey be the good cop?
I feel like you have more of a presence of the bad cop, and I mean that in a good way.
I mean, you're a ghoul.
This is true.
You are a Lengul right now. You're in the dream.
I mean,
You can do the talking more, and I'll just try to look intimidating.
okay. I think what,
Bad cop, bad cop. It's a
Bad
combo
cop,
they don't want
bad
Oh.
you to
cop.
know.
Back.
Meanwhile,
band.
Trey and Easy approach the bard first, playing this strange instrument. She is drawn about in silks and a fairly elaborate, flowing, kind of, I don't know how to, I'm terrible describing outfits and clothes, but it's a very large kind of gown. It's one of those, it's like a massive, sweeping affair.
What nation? Like,
This entire area is very like medieval Middle East, kind of on the theming. A lot of very colorful silks and tapestries, and the bard is
that will do a
Aladdin.
lot
We
more.
can just say Aladdin.
For describing
So-
an outfit, saying the time and area
That's fair.
is all you got to do.
but she's like draped around with these different bands and straps and silks that like she is You have honestly no idea how large the woman underneath this is. She is kind of just a bundle of cloth and color
She
playing
is
at
the
this instrument.
beanbag chair.
She is the beanbag
Is that
chair.
the fashion this season? Is that the bard fashion? Easy, you're behind.
And as she just kind of smiles down at the two of you as you approach, at first assuming you're just here to partake of her music, kind of catches the look in your eyes and brings her song to a close and just lays her strange instrument against the wall. And that's a little bit of a smile. Enjoying the performance, guys?
Yes. Apologies for cutting it a little short, but we would like to ask of you for a private performance. We have already talked to Quaviandra and requested use of her room.
And from here, she was close enough that you are kind of in view of Quaviandra, and she sort of looks over the night hag, who is watching this. Quaviandra just kind of nods and smiles. And the bard sort of shrugs. Okay, of course. Lead the way.
Thank you.
He would step down and follow you towards the room where these two are standing. Kami,
I know where the
sitting
room
here
is.
enjoying some flay leaf. You have what do you do after you have been there for a minute or two? It's
I
kind
want
of set in.
to. I've taken my bite.
Uh-huh.
And
Ate
I
your dry
actually
lettuce.
I want to save the rest of my little sort of log blunt. I want to save the rest of my hunk and put it in my pocket.
Okay.
Leaves it on the table and they go, who is eating
I'm
the
gonna create
Chewed on
my
it.
own magic item.
There is a bite taken out of it.
Yeah, she took up. She nibbled it.
It's not
she
apparent,
nibbled
but
it.
I'm gaming right now.
Make a flower crown.
So yes, as soon as I see that they've grabbed the bard, and I've secured kind of what, I've secured a piece of this to take with me. I'm gonna kind of sort of just settle for a second, and make sure that I'm good, and then I will follow
You
them.
feel fine, and you are walking, and you're fine.
Oh, great.
Okay.
And as the three of you come to approach the room, the two of you still in there, just kind of tossing through things. There's a little bit of a mishap. And a whoa from Moroku-san. The trap goes off anyway.
Oh,
They have those double trigger
The hair
traps.
trigger is very sensitive. And the rest of the party approaches the door as they hear this subtle of this thing discharging. And a visible orange sparkling haze kind of sprays out over the private room. You two make me fortitude saves.
yeah.
Obviously,
Get
seeing
away,
that,
it's not drugs.
I'll just pause
Why?
and block
Where
the
did you
bard
know?
and be like,
A one.
I don't know
Oh
what that
my
is, but
gosh, Colby!
he's trying
Did
to
you
die.
really?
Every fortitude saves.
Desperately trying to kill his character.
Oroka-san.
It's just for-
Yeah.
Oroka-san.
It's a Rokusan 0 point or
Oroka-san's hero point.
for a Rokusan.
This is on you.
This is
For what it's worth, it can't get worse.
The one time,
It's a 7.
That's like a
That's a
long.
It is
seven.
re-
The
okay.
one got longer on the top.
Yeah,
That's
it
a
can't
7.
get worse.
It can't get worse. The total of a
Come on.
fortitude?
Yep.
23.
Not a critical failure. Marius,
30.
you're a ghoul.
Uh-huh.
And between that and just the fact that you're relatively hardy, you're fine. You kind of cough and rush out of the room, and you throw a hand in front of the bard, and her eyes kind of go wide, and she looks startled, and she doesn't know what the hell she's looking at. MD, you take 15 points of damage. Additionally,
Dream damage.
you are drained 1.
Drain
Yeah.
damage.
Additionally,
Oh.
But wait.
you can't breathe.
Huh?
As this smoke fills your mouth and your lungs, and you all just hear MD start coughing. You can't breathe at all.
Ooh.
What does everyone else do?
Can I make a quick perception check to kind of see if the bard they're bringing in kind of looked like she was dodging early, kind of had an idea that something might happen?
Make a perception check. Each of you can do one thing if you want.
Oh.
I didn't
Before I
know the
make
trap was there, so
Yeah, you
my
had no
response
idea,
is
like,
just
oh, crap.
well, hold on.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
busy jumping out of the way, so I only got a 23.
The 23 is you look at her. She looks as startled as Trey and Easy do. Trey, Cammy, Easy. You
Yeah, I
so-
won't do anything because my response is like, oh, I didn't know that was there. Like, just stay back.
Yeah,
So I
like
just
how
won't
much
take
did
an
we see or were aware of?
You're coming around the corner, you hear this hiss, and now you hear MD coughing, and you see this orange, sparkling, thick smoke starting to diffuse in the private room.
Okay, I'm going to
Breathe in deeply.
She knows I can't breathe.
I'm gonna try and grab since there's so much.
Oh yeah, you know each other's
She knows
state.
all-
You
Yeah.
know you can't breathe. That's
Yeah,
right.
and all my
You know he's
Okay.
drained.
I'm gonna try and grab like a pillow or like a blanket or something and start like beating out the gas as I'm gonna
Okay.
Spreading
make
it
my way
throughout the
towards
room.
MD and be
Easy,
like,
you're
whoa!
back with the bard too.
Yeah, I'm
You do
helping
anything?
him just to pull him out.
All right, fortitude save.
Fortitude save.
Oh my
Fortitude
gosh,
save.
you're making another one?
Yeah, he's poisoned.
17 on the die for a total of a 33.
That succeeds.
Critical success.
So with them working to fan here, and you kind of hack up along for a few seconds, but you are no little baby. You overcome it. The room clears out surprisingly quickly as you just kind of hack this up and end up with a thick, like orange spit
Oh,
you have to hack up across the floor. But you're okay.
Put a pillow over.
The worst of it is
We
past.
should've-
You're still drained one.
Yeah.
You still took some damage, but you're all right.
gross
We should have
descriptions
double
this
checked to
episode.
make sure that wouldn't go off again.
Well, we disarmed it.
We did it, guys. We disabled the trap. Like,
We disabled it twice.
Hey guys!
that doesn't seem like much of a woe, but boy, howdy, can that poison straight up
was
kill you if you
not
fail a couple times?
breathing?
I rolled a 1 and then a
huge.
7. Like,
If you rolled a 1, you would have been in the dangerous death zone. Like
Again.
that going to 2
Yeah, you could have
or
gotten
3
MD's
is
first
like,
madness off of
Ooh,
just
yeah,
like.
no, that poison can straight up kill you. It's suffocation. That kills you fast in Pathfinder.
Oh yes, well I could have stepped
Yeah,
in.
we have multiple safety
Yeah,
options.
yes, we have safety. That poison just on its own.
The
though,
safety
is
would have given him
incredibly
another
threatening.
round because if he's suffocating, he's just going to immediately re-die the next round. So like, it's rough.
No, because when you die, those effects go away.
You definitely still choking on burnt oath fumes.
Oh man,
Anyway,
this the room she sent us to.
yes.
We could totally kill him in real life, by the way, and then revive him, and the parasite's gone.
just, mentally scarred.
This is the private chamber that Claviander sent you to.
Tell us what the afterlife is.
And so you have Trey and
So-
Easy, Trey and the Bard in the back, like, oh, Sponge Gar.
Come
and
on.
then Cammy and Easy fanning the room.
Well then, you guys are
MD
great.
and Marius kind of at the doorway as he's coming over, and this is only a couple of seconds before he's okay. And Krafiki's like,
Go on in, make yourself at home.
Apparently, someone set a trap for your mistress.
is it safe?
Oh, perfectly.
Well, you would know, wouldn't you? Do you have something to do with this?
No, what?
Are you the bad cop?
I thought I said I was the bad cop.
Oh, I thought you
Guess you
said you were the
can't
good
ask
cop.
while they're here.
Ignore them, please. They're.
Yeah.
This is why we're here. To relax.
This doesn't feel terribly safe.
Would you like me to walk in first?
But MD's still standing in there.
Just come in.
Okay. And she just kind of slowly wanders into the room. You see her like hold her breath for a little bit as she crosses the threshold and just sort of like look around. All right. What did you need?
So coming into the room and closing the door.
Close the door.
Roll fortitude check.
Yeah, well, if you didn't notice, somebody wants
Your mistress.
Claviandra dead.
I'm just a simple bard. I know nothing of her day-to-day goings on. I have no connection or attachment to her. She pays me well, handsomely.
You're playing, you're seeing a lot of the scene here. She has any enemies, any people, any arguments?
Well, many. She is a trader of much renown, of high profile. She's stepped on many toes.
Any amongst her retainers?
Amongst her retainers?
Yes. These types of strikes aren't done from someone far away.
Not anything that I've noticed.
I'm going to be paying close attention to the words she's saying and her demeanor.
I think we all are.
What a,
Sense of motive.
Yeah.
Sensing. Okay, so what are you all doing in here now? You're sensing
I'm
motive.
sensing motive.
Pretty sure we're all sensing.
You're all just trying to read
Well-
her words. No one's like looking or anything. Like you're all just on
Well-
sense
I know.
motive.
I,
Okay.
The stone is just in this room. You know, It really skips a bunch of stuff. I could just look around the room.
They've been doing that.
Oh,
they,
they've been
they,
doing
they
that.
looked through the room.
I
They
think
didn't
I'd
turn it
be
on.
mind. 'Cause
probably
they're looking for
closer
traps.
to the back. I'll probably be
Okay.
scouting.
Okay.
Kind of like keeping watch to make sure nobody's coming
Right.
by. Quick question.
Yeah.
Did the dossier we got and everybody actually give like reasons why they think each person is suspicious?
Just little sketches and descriptions, so you could find them.
Okay.
So scouting, sensing motive.
Sensing motive
Sensing
for
motive.
now.
Yeah.
Ooh.
I do have a plan after we're done talking to her.
Okay.
I'd like to question her. This isn't really my. I guess just speaking with
Anyone
her.
can
I
make
mean,
the check.
No, but
You
while
just say
you're
what you wanna
talking, you
say.
can do like, are you focusing on like looking at her, looking around there, like seeking, trying to read if she's lying, sensing motive? He's scouting. You could still
guess-
be recalling knowledge.
I guess
There's-
if I'm speaking directly to, well, no, I'll be recalling knowledge.
Okay.
Just trying to sort of size up
And
the
you
situation
were-
in general.
Do you want to be seeking anyway?
Yeah.
Give me a perception check.
That's a 9. Plus 15, 24.
Yeah, if you're spending your time looking through the room here, trying to like, maybe if you could turn up a heartstone, like, well, this is gonna be easy. This is gonna be the shortest task of my life. Rooting around trying to find something, looking for anything that might be whatever a heartstone is, because I don't know if you know what a heartstone looks like necessarily,
Maybe
but
it's red
you know,
and a
looking
rock.
for things.
Red and
All right.
So, has Fabiandra ever stepped on your toes?
No,
What about
I barely know the woman. I'm a bard. I'm not familiar with her business. I provide entertainment. I play music, sing songs.
what about some of her other retainers? What about
There's too many to count.
what about Doltheth?
Doltheth
Yeah, Dolphin.
is the fortune teller.
Mm-hmm. I know that.
And she sort of like looks down and to the side and shakes her head a little bit. I don't know much of the man. I think he's rather fond of me, but I don't imagine if he has any designs on her riches or her safety. I try to avoid them as much as I can.
He hasn't been making any calls on bad fortunes coming.
I like I said, I really tried to give him a wide berth. Something against him. He seems a perfectly fine gentleman. I'm simply
not
not
a fan.
interested.
Because Quaviandra has the idea that she's in trouble.
I
And
have
she has
an
a fortune
idea.
teller on her service.
I can't speak to the man's talents. I don't know. I'm sorry. I really don't know that I have any information that would be useful to you. I mean, like I said, I'm not part of her main crew. I'm just a bard. I'm paid to play and to entertain. I see them interact. I'm present for many of her dealings. I don't hear them speak. I don't hear their conversations. I see people get mad, but some are pleased, some are enraged, but none of these are her retainers. All just seem to do their jobs. I don't know.
Where were you on the night of the ambush?
What ambush?
I have a particular idea. If you wouldn't mind, may I frisk you, as someone has clearly poisoned this room, and I would like to see if there are other tools or potential items on you.
I'd rather not.
I will have her do it for all I care.
And then detect aura.
It's a discreet screen.
Are you reading
like
aura?
like as if I'm gonna do a
Oh,
You just
the
start. You
wand.
just start casting.
Yeah.
Okay, make me a perception check.
Oh.
As you are wearing very flowy, voluminous clothing, many things could be hidden.
That's a good one. I like that.
That is a
word.
good one.
Solid. word.
7 on the dice at 21.
21. As you look her over,
It was just perception, right?
Yeah, you cast this, and she seems a little kind of offended and scared, and like she kind of comes
Remain
across like
calm.
someone who has not experienced a lot of magic. Really, she kind of like she doesn't know what you're casting. She has clearly no
Yeah.
idea what you're casting.
Mm.
So she like steps back. And is
No,
really
stay still.
skittish. I
Just a basic detections, but you're okay.
really don't. What are you doing? What?
Checking
base-
you for items.
Yes.
Okay.
You're just a bard and you're not part of her retinue, and you're the most suspicious person in the entire building.
What reason would I have?
That's what we're checking.
We're just trying to clear you.
You do detect. She does eventually stand still and kind of let you look her over. She does have several magic items on her.
Oh. It looks like you got a couple of magic paraphernalia.
Step aside, man. We're gonna have to search your
As I
bags.
said, she pays us well. She's a
No.
very rich woman.
It's
Like,
perfectly reasonable. We all have magic items on us. May I ask what they are?
I have a few. I've bought a ring that slakes my thirst so I can perform longer. There's an amulet under here somewhere. And she kind of tries to reach up past like 6 scarves and a huge like headdress thing. I can't really get it out, but it helps keep my voice pure. There's a pair of bangles that she recommended, actually, that just... I have heard her speak. She fears assassins, but I thought this was just talk. They're supposed to ward off arrows.
Well,
I
then,
don't know. What else do I have?
I mean, off of what she's saying at this point, that's pretty much all the questions I want to ask. Can I roll my sense motive?
Go for it.
28.
With a 28, she's like, seems sincere.
Yeah,
Like,
well, that's
Yeah.
that's about the
you
extent.
two
of
are
what I
doing it
wanted
too.
to
If you
know.
want to throw me some, you're also sensing motive, you said, so you can throw me your checks as well.
What
I
was
rolled
the
a 3 on the die.
That's 15. What were we doing? Perception?
Perception.
33, 32, 33, 34 if there's a +1. in
She's
there.
not lying, but you get the feeling she's also, whether it's because she's scared and nervous or because she's intentionally trying to deceive you, not being completely forthcoming with you.
What was the third way that she was attacked? It was the poison and the
Poison,
ambush.
there was a cursed robe, and there was an ambush.
Okay.
Hmm.
I feel like you're not telling us something. You got a necklace that keeps your voice safe, but could prevent you from poison gases, other attacks.
This-
Alright. Clearly.
If such a thing even exists, I don't know of it.
Listen, just don't mess with her. Okay. Clearly, you know
Okay.
now
Alright,
that
alright.
there's an investigation taking place.
Don't leave
So
town.
now you know that if you were to have any crazy ideas, that there would be us to contend with. I think.
I-
And if you hear anything, just come find us, please.
Well, before we let you go, we would like to go talk to Dalthith next.
Okay.
Would you be so kind as to avoid his notice for a moment?
I
I think she's an
Sounds
expert.
I tried
at
to
it.
do
kinda
that
wants
as
to
much
do
as
that
I can.
anyways.
Just make sure he doesn't see that we took you out of this room. You know where he is, we don't know.
Oh, I don't know where he is at the moment. I've been playing.
No, fair. Well, you know what he looks like.
Indeed.
All right, let's.
So just avoid him for a few moments and we'll go find him.
Also, your playing is beautiful.
Mm.
Good job.
Thank you. It's a craft I've honed for much of my life.
I can tell. It shows. Alright then.
Okay.
let's
And I'll
go.
just open the door and
And
lead her out.
Kavriki will leave. The first of your suspects walking through the door and makes her way back towards her instrument and her stage.
Then I'll close the door real quick towards you. I'll say,
Give him the hat of disguise.
Okay.
He's the bard now.
Okay.
Mm.
I hand it over.
Just like Turkey.
Yeah, you have a clothes. So the head disguise can go as far as your memory can go. So I mean, like you can look like she looks right now.
Yeah.
That's what you got. You know what her face looks like. She's got like a veil across her headdress, but
it just has to be a one-to-one
You can look what she looks like at the moment, right?
Yep.
Mhm.
If you have to take the headdress off, you have no idea what her hair looks like or anything like that. So like that's gonna be a guess. But
It's like when you put a hat on in a video game, that your hair just disappears.
yeah, exactly.
right.
So
So
Imagine.
now,
It's like a little Lego guy.
Your hair will be transparent if you take
you're
it.
gonna go get doll theft.
now we go get Dalthith. And we have a bargaining chip.
Go get him, Tiger.
So, it is no particular
We're gonna send
difficulty.
Kevin out to romance yet another NPC.
We are catfishing this
It's,
man.
we know what easy,
Gotta catch them all.
we know what easy is
It's
good
just
at.
like the other boss where
No
I do
particular
one thing.
difficulty to go find any given one of these people here in the
Gosh.
I thought
So
that
after-
was a pretty good idea.
After a brief search, Trey leads Dull Theth, a man with greasy, slicked black hair,
Ugh.
very long, done back in a pair of thick braids that wind together with elaborate jewelry and chains wrapped around them. His face clean shaven, his outfit, his attire pristine, bejeweled, elaborate.
Look like a dressed up rat, basically.
And he follows
I,
along with you. I assume you told him you just probably understand what you need to
Before-
talk. He comes. It's not hard to convince him.
When they walk off to go get him, I'm gonna step back outside of the room. I'm gonna prop the door up exactly the way it was when the trap was on,
It
Okay.
looks
and I'm gonna
sus.
stand outside and just watch to see reactions.
Okay. And so as they approach, you motion towards the door,
Yeah, just-
and
I
he
remain inside.
nods his head and pushes the door open and steps inside. Ah! Quite a fair number of you in here, more than I'd expected. Dull Theft, fortune teller extraordinaire, prophet, known across the dreamlands. You wish to know the whims of the fates?
I realize I've been doing bad cop all wrong. Immediately intimidating glare.
That's the spirit.
Oh my gosh.
3 for
Oh,
You just
Mark.
13.
No, you just look a little grumpy.
You look at him, you're just like,
And normal
He
dwarf
just-
expression.
kind of looks away
But
and looks
as
at
a
the rest of the
Langor.
party. Like,
Right then.
and
Yes, resting ling face, I'm sorry.
Kavriki. Pleasure as always. So, what have you gathered us here for?
Wait, isn't
You-
that Amanetta?
What?
Was
No, that's
Kafriki the word?
Kapriki.
I
Kafriki's
have
the
a
first.
three
Amaretta's
names
the-
written down.
Amaretto was the first.
Amaretto. Amanetta's the steward.
Amarillo.
Amanetta's the steward.
Kavriki.
Dolphat's the fortune teller. Kavriki's the
Gotcha.
bard.
Like,
I just have their
slam
names written
Okay.
down.
He said Quaviandra had some interest for us. I expected not to find a group of you in her private chamber. Is something amiss?
A bit, yes. Unfortunately, we believe one of you is a conspirator.
Truly. Quaviandra has confided upon me many such fears, and as a grand reader of the fates within the stars, I've tried again and again, time uncounting, to warn her about the disaster, the ruin that looms dark and heavy over her head. She hears my pleas, but does she act upon my wisdom? Rarely, if ever, leading to these repeated fateful occurrences. I'm sure she's told you tales aplenty of the misfortune that's befallen her.
Where were you on the night of the ambush?
I was with her, part of a retinue, of course. Fortunately, I was not so close as to have been attacked, but those men, they were formidable, exactly as the cards had predicted. The Three of Swords speaks plainly.
All men.
Did he flip the trap when he came in?
No,
Like the
he just
safety?
pushed the door open and walked in.
Cool.
Kavriki here has said that you were the one who placed the trap there.
What trap? And he
Directly pointing at it.
he kind of looks around it. This thing on the door?
Yes,
What manner of trap is this?
gas trap. Intended to kill the mistress.
You had me walk straight through the door plain!
Disarmed.
Ah, sensible. Wise. Of course.
I can't.
Listen,
man
man,
is
you
so
seem kind of
flip-floppy.
chill. Not just
This
a
is
little
a good
bit.
character. I like this character.
Kavriki has said you were the one who placed it, that you were seen doing it.
Do my advances offend you so? I believed that we had
I am clearly
Found-
lying, by the way.
commonality and agreement here. I had expressed my interest. You refused, and we agreed. I accepted this. I told you as much. I will not press the matter. Why foist this upon me now?
I don't know, Dolphins, why didn't you see this coming? Was it not in your cards?
My cards have told me of mistrust and betrayal, but I did not expect it to come from someone, an acquaintance so barely known. I had read them wrong. I had assumed there'd been something further within, someone close to the heart, someone I was more connected with, not a singer whose acquaintanceship I've barely had. Look, Kavriki, you are very pretty, as I said, but I will bother you no further. Setting me up for some elaborate... Is this a ruse of some kind? Are you involved in this? Did she put you up to it?
I'm gonna roll my sense motive now.
No
Yeah, like
Ruse.
I'm pretty cool with this dude.
No ruse.
Same number 28.
Give you... All right, to the Russian judges.
Nope. 4.
6.
He seems sincere.
MD's not great with people.
Well, then off of that,
Still scowl.
Yeah.
No, you take the hat off. You're fine.
I'm sorry. It was a ruse.
Voice drop.
We had to use the tools at our disposal to see if you were legit or not.
Yeah.
I apologize.
Well, having my trust in Quaviandra judged at the services I provided at her side for so long, the fates I have unwoven for her, the threads I have laid bare, its question wounds me so.
I mean, she had
It
nothing-
also
she had-
brings me a warm joy that finally she has taken heart to my readings. She has seen my warnings of looming despair and taken action. She's listening to me.
Yeah.
That's awesome. What exactly were the readings? Like, what's the...
I can recall them as clearly as if I had drawn the very cards this morning. Portents of ruin, disaster, betrayal from within. I had seen the 3 of Swords. I had seen the Tower. I know that one of her very own sought to do her harm. That these events prior, these experiences, these misfortunate attempts upon her life, they were no coincidence, they were no happenstance. I have seen their personal. They seek not her wealth or her knowledge, but her downfall itself. I have seen machinations of man and poison both.
How close to her would you say?
The fates are only so precise, I'm afraid. Their whims are fickle, difficult to interpret. I am an expert, of course, make no mistake. But specifics and details are only revealed insofar as they can be.
But you're certain it's just somebody under her employ?
Absolutely positive it
Okay.
is someone to whom Quaviandra has placed her dearest trust.
Okay, I have a question for you. The bard, what was her name?
Kavriki.
Is she just a hired bard, or is she considered a retainer?
She is a hireling. She has been with our under Quaviandra's employ for some time, I believe. A few weeks, a couple of weeks, not terribly long, 2 or 3, I believe, when first I made her acquaintance. I do not travel with Quaviandra everywhere, though, so it is perhaps she has worked longer and I am simply unaware of it.
When did her attacks on Quaviandra's life happen?
Oh, well, the ambush was very recent. That was, well, I suppose recent in the grand scheme of things. I know you speak of this ambush, I assume, or were there others?
No,
Others I had
one.
read in the cards, of course.
The one.
Ambush.
Right. The 3 of Swords. It was perhaps a month and a half past. If you're looking for commonalities between the two, I'm afraid there are none to be had. That predated, well, at least my meeting of Kavriki by some time.
Can I detect or not read aura on
Yeah.
him?
If
as
you
well?
sort of
Well,
step over here.
As
Sure.
a final
Just
check.
kind
He
of
would
while
just-
we're discussing.
He would cast
here.
it, he would nod and just kind of literally like pose like he's being painted while
Spread,
you
spread your legs a little bit.
Read
hands on
aura.
your hips.
across him.
Just
I
to
should
be
start
thorough
hands
here.
above.
Of course.
Yep.
Are you literally frisking him?
No, no, no.
It's like the
I-
wand.
I-
Oh,
yeah.
it's like the airport security.
Yeah.
thing.
No,
Okay.
no, I want to frisk him.
You can frisk him.
Yes.
Just as a final check, a magical scan and a physical check, just to make sure nothing is being concealed.
Seems unnecessary, but fair as it must be.
We're being
Me
paid to
warned.
be thorough.
I do, of course, carry a blade. I'm no fool.
Everyone should.
The fates are fickle indeed.
Yeah, I highly recommend carrying a blade.
And he does have just a simple dagger that's like tucked into his waistband on his side.
Everybody should have
Also
it.
a couple of magical items. A pair. His boots are enchanted, as is one of his rings.
Okay.
Perfectly, nothing seems out of the ordinary. Just have to be thorough.
What's the ring do?
This ring? If I were to be quite honest with you, I can scarcely remember. I've had it for so long.
We could verify it if you want.
Its effect was simple. It was subtle. If you wish. And he pulls it off of his finger. I truly don't recall. It's been some time. And he hands it over to you.
Our local caster here is
You want
quite.
to spend 10 minutes inspecting the ring?
I don't see why not.
It's like, please hold.
So
Yeah,
tell
a
us
few
your life
questions.
story.
Hey guys.
well, if it turns
You
out
guys
to
can
be
get your
like
fortunes
a
told while
poisonous
I-
ring-
He will absolutely tell your fortunes
Hey,
while
Oh,
he,
yeah.
he
Go ahead
goes
and tell
through
me my
this.
fortune.
I do
So,
want to know
as you
fortunes.
look
This
over the
guy,
ring-
this guy seems cool.
And he pulls out a deck and starts reading the tales of fate for MD here. He tells you of a calamitous fire looming not near but far, something of the distant future. Something. Oh my gosh, he brought me the tarot cards from Curse of the Crimson Throne.
Oh my gosh.
A fire that, while ruinous at the time, will lead to opportunities and a tail end of your life far better and in greater comforts than you could ever have imagined. In the middle future, he tells of a woman, either an enemy, a lover, or the way the cards lay, perhaps both. But one who will be tied closely to fate your own. And in the near future, he pulls coin. But not fortune, misfortune, a loss, a ruin, a minor one, not debilitating, not crippling, no bankruptcy. Perhaps investments need to be changed. Perhaps you need to think about your futures differently. Perhaps your wages simply stymied. And as he finishes this telling, Cammy determines that this ring is pretty much hair gel in a ring. It keeps his hair.
Shut up.
It keeps his hair exactly slicked how it's supposed to be,
Oh my
and
God.
stops it
That's
from
so
moving.
No, I would
I
like to
said the
remind
same ring.
everybody the list of
so
specific
funny.
magic items is just things good for adventurers.
It
There
is a-
are
We could have
permanent
missed
hair
this
gel
very-
rings.
Awesome content.
Very simple abjuration that keeps his hair perfectly immaculate, no matter the day's trials.
That is so
We look at
funny.
him now, it's all starting to like fade.
like he's got doing.
So like an on-off switch where it goes poof, and then you put a ring back.
No,
on.
it's
Back-
not so much that as like his hair will not move from like you can like it's still hair. It's not like a helmet, but it will always return to its perfectly
that's
styled shape that he applied
hilarious.
once he had put the ring on.
That's so
That's a
funny.
magic item. I won't.
We can buy those.
Incredible.
Like
No, no.
It's just not on the list of adventure
No,
items.
IRL, I want that.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Was that reading for MD specifically?
That was for MD specifically.
We all get the.
We can ask for one later.
The reading would take like 10 minutes. That would take
Oh,
most of the
it's
time.
so fun
wanna-
though.
I'm gonna go up to everybody and kind of whisper, "Hey, should one of us have stayed out and watched Quaviandra to make sure that nothing
Too late.
happened while we were
She's
in?"
a
Ah.
night hag. I'm sure she'll
You'll
be
probably
fine.
hear a ruckus.
Okay,
Bobby
so,
Andre's a really
uh,
strong night hag, right?
You know she's supposed to be pretty.
No, that's not just asking the fortune teller.
Oh.
She's strong, right?
Yes.
We're not talking to you, AJ.
No.
We're talking,
why would we talk to you?
talking
Well, I
little
have
fantasy man.
Not come across the company of many hags in my life's adventures, but Quaviandra is indeed formidable. I saw those assassins try her. The first I was really able to see put her on the back foot. They were successful, I suppose. They didn't slay her, but they stole her very heartstone, and still she survived.
Why'd they take that?
I couldn't tell you. I know they're believed to have.
It's crazy.
All right, we're done. You can leave.
Fair enough.
And,
Thank you for
well,
your time.
How'd he go? Shut
I
the
want
door.
to talk to you later. I
Fortune
wanna
telling's
talk to you.
immaculate. You do a great job. Quaviandra really appreciates
The
you.
least I could do.
Before you leave, have you ever given a fortune to Amanetta?
I don't believe I've had the pleasure. No, Amanetta is the stewardess.
Yeah, you
Yes.
said it was someone close.
Yes, she is one of the older of Quaviandra's retainers in every sense of the phrase.
Interesting.
She's been with her as long as any of them can remember, I do believe. Getting on in years herself.
Interesting. You think she ever wanted to, I don't know, run this place? Maybe she ever have a reason to.
I couldn't tell you. I've little knowledge other than what the fates have told me about the specifics of Quaviandra's particular business, but she does have rivals aplenty, both in person and in the near future. I've tried to warn her.
Oh, the warning's been heard. Shishu, go away.
Thank you for your time.
Shut door.
All right, we were the
Reset.
ambush.
Reset the door
Yeah.
and everything.
Yeah.
Reset.
Reset the trap. Go, and I'll go retrieve
You need the hat
Amanetta,
back.
and I will return
Go
momentarily
get Armadillo.
and usher her in front of me.
Okay. And as you bring in Amanetta, who is a very kind of shrewish old woman. I feel like there's two old woman archetypes. There's grandma and there's
Whippersnapper.
like Karen.
Yeah.
She's Karen. She, even from the brief moment of meeting her and bringing her over here, she gives you some pushback. She's not happy about it. She kind of agrees to slowly shuffle her way over, but
I will walk in her
Let's
Just
I will be
because-
polite.
This
I
one,
will
no
be like I will play the part
One
of
in
a
three.
cordial person extending an invitation to talk and borrow her time.
and she's not happy about it.
Doesn't have
But
to be
she
happy.
will come. And she will arrive into the private chambers and just approach the door and just kind of look at you and wait for one of you to get the door for her.
Oh, no, I'm not there.
Have manners truly forsaken this place?
I am a hobgoblin, right?
Last time I checked.
Boots! And she just kind of pushes the door open and shuffles through. Oh, there's quite a fair number of you here. What is this mess?
Intimidating glare.
Grumpy
Come on.
stare.
For a 9
stare.
for a 19.
It's a natural one. Dang it, I was going to do it back. This is too,
I mean, to be fair, you did it back.
she
then.
does do it back. She's just a grumpy old lady. So
But I'm grumpier.
you get the feeling
You're a
she has
grumpy old man.
zero threat whatsoever. That's
How old is Marius now?
what?
Thank you for humoring us, and apologies for making you open the door.
And I'll point at the trap.
We had to check to see if that was you.
I have no knowledge of this thing.
I know you opened the door and didn't trigger it.
Then what more do you need of me?
Just some questions so that we can verify everything and then send you on your way. Will only take a moment.
Please hurry, then. My time is very valuable, and my relaxation time doubly so.
Then I'll just prompt you for the TSA check.
Is your time more valuable than that of Claviandra's
And
life?
while, because it takes a minute, and while that's going off,
Just apologies again. Someone is out to sabotage Miss
I can't remember her name.
Paviandra.
Claviandra.
I
Claviandra.
know she's had multiple attempts on her life.
The poison's one of them.
The cursed robe, the ambush, I'm aware.
Where were you on the night of the ambush?
I was at her side, as always. There's little I can do to fend off trained soldiers. I couldn't draw a sword to protect her.
More importantly, I'm sure you have an opinion on all this. What is your opinion? What do you think is happening? Who do you think it is?
I don't have any opinions on who this could be. Claviandra has any number of possible rivals, but her food could only have been poisoned by someone close to hand. It's prepared by personal chefs that travel with her and her retainer. The ingredients sourced by myself, prepared and delivered through the hands of precious few retainers, generally to her directly. Claviandra rarely partakes of shared meals or food. I'm sure, as you can see here in the den, she hasn't even touched any of Dilathleen's delights. What she consumes is prepared and delivered to her directly.
And you would be close enough to be in the contact with those foods yourself.
I would. Half of the time, it's me delivering them.
And the other half?
Any number of her other close retainers, depending on the event. If there's certain entertainments to be had, it is sometimes done by whatever her bard's name is.
Would you mind giving an opinion on Daltheth?
Daltheth is a hooligan and a fraud. He calls broad, obvious, overarching claims, and when they come near enough to true, claims that he was correct. Those he can't even explain away. He says the fates are fickle, waves his hands, and moves on like nothing has happened. A waste of our time and resources, but the lady enjoys his company, and so he remains.
And how about Kavriki herself?
She is talented. Her music is enjoyable. She sings well, but beyond that, I've no opinion of the girl.
I believe that's all I really have for her, and that'd be about the time the TSA check would go through.
She has not a single magical item on her person. She's
Oh.
nothing. It's completely mundane.
And
Okay.
the sense motive
Clean.
check. So
Sense motive checks from the judges.
The judges.
Oh, I thought it was a 20.
That is a 25.
You guys suck at
26.
this.
26.
What do you mean? I have a 14.
It's perception.
Okay, so okay,
18 plus 8 or 16 plus 18.
Ooh,
32.
yeah, 34.
34. All three. She seems sincere. She seems annoyed.
That's fair.
She
No,
doesn't
like-
want to be here.
I want to kind of whisper over to MD, just sort of like nearing the back of her, just like, have we considered that if it just has to be somebody under her employ who's looking to attack Quaviandra, and we're here for her heartstone, and under her employ now?
Whoa.
That's funny. That is actually funny.
Then, thank you for your time. I believe that's all we have to ask.
I would say it's been a pleasure, but I'll do you the honor of telling you truthfully. And leaves.
You didn't tell us anything.
Bye.
All right, so I think it's safe to say it was the bard.
You guys are just in the room here. You shut
Yeah.
the door.
Yeah.
Like, pretty sure it was the bard.
She's the one that was kind of still shifting.
The only one who wasn't specific about what she has, the only one who wouldn't trust us with items, and based on the testimony of Aminetta, she has access, albeit limited, but that's enough.
I don't like any of them.
Plus, she's new. She could have been a part of any one of these conspiracies and it would have never been known.
All right.
I think we talked to
I think
her
it's
again.
about the best guess that we have.
I think we talked to her again, and we're a little more forceful about wanting to check her items.
You go get
the bard.
Yeah,
Go
if
back
anyone's
and get
opposed,
Kobe.
feel free to speak. Like,
Yeah, this is your
I-
show,
I
boss.
mean-
Should someone do a?
You're a guard, so
Should someone
Yeah.
go check on Quaviandra? While
matter
we're-
of fact, can I make a lore warfare? Because I used to be a guard. Like, do I feel like I'm on the right track?
I don't know how lower warfare really applies.
Because I was a guard and they get lore warfare.
Yeah, but I mean, this
They
is a
don't get
super
lore
warfare
guard.
situation, really.
Can I
don't
make a
think.
lore guard check?
Yeah, I
Like,
don't-
I don't get a lore guard.
For what? What exactly?
Do I feel like my train of thought is
Yeah, I mean-
not absurd?
I don't feel like that's a check. I feel like, do you feel like your train of thought is absurd? I
feel like it could
think
be
that's
any
an-
one of
Do you
them.
feel like your check was accurate?
I think that's a
No,
you
I
question,
wanna go get the
Chief.
bar.
Did we determine what city your lore is for you? Because is it here?
Yeah, I want to go bother the bard.
All right. You go back to Gavriki, who is sitting on the edge of the stage where her instrument is and sees you approach again. She kind of lowers her head.
Just a moment, I'm sorry.
She gets up and follows you and is brought back into the room once again.
The others talked. We know it was you.
nice. Into it.
I don't get
He's
what you mean.
enthusiastic.
Look, if anyone would have cause, I saw who you brought in here. You spoke of Dalteth, obviously, and I saw you fetch Aminetta. Either of them would make more sense to me. Dalteth is a seeker of fame and fortune. It's all he cares about is renown and riches. And Aminetta has been here for so long. She's the only one of the retinue who really has the potential to know enough of Quaviandra's business to keep it going. Maybe it's just a power play. I don't know. But what would I stand to gain?
Whatever
I'd
you're
lose
being
my
paid
pay.
to. No, not if you're being paid to be here and cause the issues. I would like to request you remove your magic items so we may check them.
She takes a step back and just sort of starts reaching into her robes and pulls out a scimitar and a dagger. Look, let us speak plain. Just drops them on the floor. You seem like fine folk. I don't know you or what's brought you here, but I do know what's brought Quaviandra, soul trade. Dilathlene is a city of vice, make no mistake. You can tell that by where we are now. But souls are something different entirely. Souls are not only sacred, they are what makes us what we are.
Can you get us a heartstone?
I know a way to get the heartstone.
Then we're on your side.
Help me kill her.
Easy. Also, you seem the most suspicious of all. No specific answers.
I'd considered fleeing after you released me from our first conversation, but part of me thought you might be amenable.
Yeah, we just need a heartstone.
Yeah, we just want the heartstone.
I care not why. I just wish to see Hag's soul trade not spread any further. At least not to the city that I call home.
Oh no, hags deserve to be killed. They're very evil.
So,
Call her in here.
Well, just hold a moment and think. You, unfortunately, ruined my trap. So that does make this slightly more difficult. Quaviandra is very formidable. Facing her directly, I was not involved in whatever group had ambushed her sometime prior, though I was watching her at the time. I had not yet made myself known. I was trying to figure out how I could work my way into her circle, and this bardic guise made the most sense. I wasn't a part of that, and I saw their struggle. She is potent. There's a reason I haven't simply attacked her directly. I believe her possibly capable of laying low all 6 of us.
You think she can do that if we trap her in this little room?
I'm not sure. But this room may not be quite as much of a trap as you think it is. The question is, does she know that? And she moves back to the back of the room next to the bed and presses on a section of the wall, which slides aside. This whole den is run with servants' passages. It's how I got in here to lay the trap in the first place. These interconnect various parts of this whole building. You can use them to move around somewhat freely without having to use the door directly. Without the trap, I'm not sure how they aid us, but it's worth considering, and it's worth having a fallback plan should we need to escape.
Put the hat on again.
What would you like?
You're gonna be fake her again. Go to the stage. You're gonna hide in there. We're gonna bring her in here. Tell her what we found.
All right.
You ambush. Bard can support us from a distance without being directly threatened.
This seems sound.
But also cuts off her escape.
I suppose it's about the best chance that we have. Look, I know you're here for the Heartstone, but I don't know that I will help you, but committing to an all-out attack seems unwise.
That's all we really know.
We don't know anything about this place.
If the Heartstone stores most of her power, is there a way we could get it off of her first?
That's the track that I'm on. If she can be separated from her Heartstone, it's possible that within the coming days before she can replace it, I can find a more secure way to take her down. I've studied her physiognomy extensively. Night Hag's magic is reliant on that stone. Without it, she's dramatically weaker. I still won't want to face her in single combat, but I could engineer an ambush or a trap that may be more likely to succeed.
Where does she keep the stone?
On her person at all times, as I believe all Night Hags probably do.
Do you know what it specifically looks like?
It's a green and black gemstone. It's not translucent. It looks like a polished rock.
Did we notice that when we saw her?
You wouldn't have seen it. It's not like it's not like hanging from her shoulder or anything.
It's not like a giant thing on her hat or something.
If you could find a way to get that away from her, I care not what you do with it, but give me the opening I need. You would be doing a good thing for the people of Dilathleen. Trust me on that. She is one of the purest forces of evil that exists. Soul trading. I can think of nearly nothing worse.
You've been watching her closely. You know, normally we're on her person. She keeps the Heartstone. I would assume, obviously, not out
in her gown directly. If she is as interested in catching the assassin as she thinks, and she believes correctly that it's me, I think there is still merit to your original plan. If you can make the crime scene look believable enough, perhaps you can convince her to simply give you the stone. It would be a hard sell, but if she thinks herself safe for the next few days, she knows she can replace it.
She's gonna give us a bunch of stones. We just ask for one.
You wouldn't have much leverage, as the deed is already done, but I can't think of a better way to do it.
I could play dead.
That's not a bad idea. We have the ability to leave and she can't stop us. whenever we want.
I can still wait in the servants' passage in case things go south.
Yeah.
Would not be a bad idea.
Yeah.
Let's
Rearm yourself.
let's sort of make a bit of a scuffle in here.
Yeah, and
Oh,
I want to
break
purposely
something.
like go around, make a few like visible cuts and stab in like the walls and stuff. I want to make it look like a
And
fight.
Kavriki would definitely help you. Just,
Yeah.
like swinging her scimitar.
Like
some of these
I will
couches and
straight
some
up
of
just
these
be like,
blankets
get
and
me with your
cushions.
knife a couple times.
just-
Like make it
And
look
she
bad.
wants to make it look like she will absolutely, it's like with her dagger, just like cut through you a couple times.
Yeah.
Bang her scimitar up against some of your armor, so it's like visibly kind of dented.
Yeah, like make it
She'll
look.
absolutely work with you to set
Yes.
this up.
Yeah.
Are you going to be able to effectively play that?
Hey, you know what's great about a hat of disguise? You can fake wounds. You can make yourself look like whatever you want.
I want to put on the gilded green cloak and try to go invisible.
Okay.
And then you can tell her that you sent me out to kind of keep watch somewhere. And I'm just gonna kind of like hide in the corner.
Are we not worried about her?
Now wait and listen. This door is thin. I'll be able to hear if things go alright. Best of luck.
If you hear me shout, the fight started.
Alright. And she'll pull that door closed. You're invisible in the corner. You're pretending to be a corpse on the ground.
The performance of a lifetime.
Family
Here
Guy
we
vibes.
go.
He actually has experience doing this. When Reese stabbed you in the heart.
Yeah. Stab through the heart.
Just call back to that. Just feel it.
Method acting.
So going back out, spear in hand but held like non-threateningly, I will quickly like power walk my way over to.
Do you guys like this map, by the way?
Yeah.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
gorgeous.
Because this is another one of the Seafoot Games maps that I used to replace the Paizo one. Same as we did with the.
Look at you.
Same as we did with the gala, where we first met the Phlegm Prince. This is another one of those. A couple of the Dreamlands maps are very tiny and unsatisfying. So,
Oh, this is
Seafoot Games
pretty.
has some really good ones. This is just free. We're not partner or anything. They just have some fantastic free maps.
Is this built to go with Strange Aeons?
Nope.
But it's got like the perfect little room.
Sure does. That's why I used it. Look, it's a really good setup for this.
That's cool. That is really
I keep
cool.
forgetting I have pickpocket and I keep looking at it. I could really use that. And then I look at my thievery. I'm like,
No, you can't.
it's expert. It's 16.
You can try.
I
Yeah.
could try.
The three of you
Let's get her.
return
That's
to
also why I wanted
Quaviani, who kind of turns and looks across the group of you. I heard what I believe could only be the sounds of battle. I take it things
Kavriki.
went awry.
Unconscious, not dead. Thought you might want to question.
Wise of you and loyal to a fault.
And I don't look great.
You look. Did you like? So how much damage?
I
did you
would
do
have been willing to
yourself?
take like 30 or 40.
Okay,
Like
so
no
you would
problem.
look. You'd be a good bit. You'd say you took 30 damage. So like you're like visibly kind of hurt.
Yeah. Like
She
some of the
kinda-
stab wounds are real.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, he's
I'm
literally cutting. you. You're-
Obviously drained.
You're drained.
I'm actually
You're
hurt.
literally drained. You've been stabbed
In the
like
room,
darts.
they're like, just punch me. It's okay. I can take it.
You have like a red handprint. It's the most Cammy could take.
Yes.
Well,
See that one hook.
It's half my health.
Claviander just kind of nods. Well, it sounds like you've done very well. She must have been surprisingly formidable. Was she able to stand up to the group of you? Where are the rest of your friends?
One of them has been sent off. We found a passage, hidden
Ah,
thing. We sent him to check it. I don't know what else might be in there, but there was poison in front of the door.
in the private chambers. I'll have to have words with the proprietors.
Yes. The other one is just inside of the door watching,
Okay.
letting us know.
Very well. You have done spectacularly. Take me to her.
Of course.
And she stands up, and she is about 8 feet tall.
They're
Standing.
small.
Like, she is big. And you can see her hands in
Big
like
lady.
several inch long black talons like knives as she walks almost like gliding gracefully across the floor around back to the private chamber where she sees dead Kavriki here. Unconscious Kavriki is that where we're going.
Yes.
And she looks
Like
down.
looks wounded but is still
Right.
breathing.
It's always surprising how effective outside help can be. You're not interested in money. confirm the positions already.
Our position here is not exactly permanent itself.
A shame. Very well then. I suppose we'd agreed upon a reward, and it looks like you've done more than you have finished. And she reaches into her pocket and pulls out the little sapphires.
Call me greedy, but talks of a heartstone were mentioned during the fight. I like power. Would you be willing to part with that instead?
Greedy indeed. We already had agreed upon a promised reward. This was a deal in hand.
That's why I'm asking, not insisting.
She looks down at Kubriki.
The only reason I know about it is because I was told by this one, trying to bribe me off.
One of you three here make me a diplomacy check. One of the ones that is here with your presence now. It could be any of you because you're all participating in this conversation.
I mean, you're the one speaking to her. I feel like you're all.
I'm not trained in diplomacy. No, any of us can roll it.
Oh.
Yeah, whoever.
Just because
Wants to
I am an
take it.
articulate individual does not mean I have the skill on my sheet.
I mean, I don't want to mess up your lovely interrogation.
It sounds like none of you.
I mean,
Nobody
I
in
could
this
try
room
it.
was-
I
No, I literally, it's
Let's
it's
see
only,
it.
It's
Amy.
you. It is only you.
Yeah.
oh my.
I'm
Well,
trained
your
in
bard is
deception.
pertained to be a dead body.
Well,
so-
to be fair,
fair.
can I roll deception? Because I'm lying. This
That's, I'll
entire-
give you deception. Deception. Well, you're. Yeah, I'd give you deception because it's for the reward, so it's not really like. This isn't really the lying part, but the whole thing is a massive deception. So,
Yeah.
like, I'd let you do
Go
Like,
for it.
I'll
'Cause I'd
roll
hate to take
deception
it.
because that's what I was
Wow.
banking on.
You've
While
done
they're
some
talking,
legwork here.
I'm going to be seeking specifically like on her body, like seeing if I
Looking
can
to see if you can
yeah,
figure out where it
figure
is.
out where the heartstone is.
$30.
Ooh,
That's a 15 on the die.
30
Come on.
would be the DC exactly.
Good show.
And she kind of looks at you and looks down at Kavriki
At this point, I have put my weapon away.
and just puts the sapphires back in her pocket. Fair enough. I suppose with the imminent threat dealt with, I could do without for a few days. And she pulls out a very long, oblong, green and black stone. It's long, longer across than her hand. And just holds it out for you.
Thank you.
Pleasure doing business with you.
Same to you.
If ever you find yourselves in need of employment, please don't find me. I can always use effective employees.
You will be remembered in our hearts for
No.
your generosity.
If you would leave me a moment,
Of course.
I have questions to ask.
Let me inform my allies that we're done here.
And I will just go over and knock where the secret door is.
This is where the door is, by the way. Hidden quite well.
With knowing.
And just through the door.
Go get Marius. We're done here.
And just turn around.
It might be a moment. He went exploring.
Guys, let's go sneak in and then come back out.
You just kind of sneak around and pop in,
Yeah, go in, take the coat off, become visible again,
and then come back out. As Marius appears.
Is everything okay?
Did you lose the bard?
I think she got away. There's a split.
No, our bard.
Oh. I don't know where he went.
Okay. I'm gonna go look for him, and we'll just leave this way, if that's fine with you.
Of course.
Have a good evening.
And she's looking down at was just Easy's body here. Oh, cheers, fellas. That wolf would like us to drink.
Cheers. And cheers.
So what do you do? You all
We're just going to go
walk out
through the secret.
out a secret passage.
Yeah.
Before you filter into this secret passage, you see Kavriki is still in there with the scimitar and the dagger in hand.
And I have the heartstone.
Under her
in hand.
breath, she just
Have a good evening, Quaviandra.
And I will bow and then close the door as we all go in.
So the room is just Quaviandra.
Wait, what?
The plan, as I mentioned earlier, is he can wake up whenever he wants.
Okay.
Easy's not dumb.
And she
Okay, easy.
I specifically said we can leave
Immediately-
whenever we want earlier.
Okay.
goes to cast a spell.
What?
So,
No, and then I'm once they're out, I'm waking up.
Wake up.
hey, make me the will save.
Okay. Okay, 13. Well, 17 is a 30.
Okay. That with no self stress.
What?
With no self stress, 30 doesn't quite do it.
Okay. So
You could
Can
do it
I
3 times.
I could
So make me
Can
a
I leave-
different will save.
a different will save.
Could I leave the door cracked open just a little bit?
Trey's at the door. He
Oh,
Yeah,
it's
I just
it's
closed it
fully-
and then I would just like step away, going to leave.
Okay. Cause stop.
What?
Oh.
Well, I do have things.
Oh shoot.
I got stuff from people.
She's gonna beat us up though if we like.
Arukusan gave. Thank you for your hurt point, Arukusan. I'm just like, why isn't this working? I'm clicking my heels in my mind, not trying to move. I'm gonna go again.
Control delete.
And it's a 12 plus 17 is a 29. Okay.
What's I want
For
I want
what it-
but you're in the middle of
you're
when can I
panicking. We're on the other side of the door if things go wrong.
Okay.
We don't know what's happening
You
yet.
don't know what's happening.
Well, I know we left you in the room.
Yes, the plan was he wakes up, but right now all we know is she goes to cast a
Are
spell.
you looking through the crack in the door?
I mean, yeah, I would have
You
regardless.
peeking?
I would have been anxious leaving
She-
him in the room.
You
Just
stick your foot in there and
honestly.
just kind of watch. Just a little tiny crack. She pulls up, raises a hand, and cants a spell, and reaches down into a different pocket and pulls out a glowing green and black crystal. And as she
the wrong one.
casts the spell,
We got the wrong one. We got the
Are you
wrong
saying
one.
that out loud?
29
We got the
fails.
wrong one. Yes, I'll say it out loud.
That's
see,
initiative after the spell. then.
Like a spectral image of Easy pull out of his body and suck into the stone. This would normally do very bad things. Fortunately, you're in the dream,
It's true. I'm good at
But
playing
you
dead.
know,
so it's just gonna wake you up.
Okay.
wait.
Unfortunately.
No. Stop. No! Don't do that. No!
It is going to cause you to break. We haven't done 3 yet.
The big 3.
This is a little different when it's 3. There's no chance for this one to be good. This is
It's just less bad.
this is not rolling to see if it's good or it's bad. This is rolling to see what it is on my little table of things. Because while I can pick appropriate ones for the lessers, these are so debilitating that we're just going to go ahead and let the whims of fate decide.
Okay.
Roll me the big D20.
That's a 20? That's a
20's the big one. Okay. 20's the big one.
That's a bad or good?
They're not in any like particular order. They're all bad. They're not. There's not a good outcome.
It's not 20.
They are kind of sorted by badness. So,
Wait, is 20
you
the
got
worst?
the worst.
well, they're not
20's
like
the worst?
They're not like necessarily in a particular order, but
It's
like
just a list of 20
it's
things.
just kind of a list of things.
Oh, no, the GG's.
20s. No, you know what? I don't. Okay, 20's a thing. 20's a thing. So you immediately, as you feel this spirit suck out of you, snap awake, back on the ship. It is to you in the waking world still like the middle of the night. But you starting immediately gets Reese's attention because she is the lightest sleeper on planet Galarian. And she bolts up because something is clearly wrong again. You feel like you can't think at all. You're not sure where you are. You're not sure what's happening.
Amnesia too.
You barely feel like you can move. Functionally, you're stupefied 4 and slowed 2 at the moment. So you are just barely a functional person. And as Reese kind of bolts over to your side, leaning over you, saying something, this is very obviously visibly wrong, this level of detrimental. Hey, easy.
Reese,
Focus. What happened?
is this real?
Yes, this is real. What's wrong with you? What happened? You just look at me. Look, focus.
Mm-hmm.
And as you look at Reese, things start to stabilize a little bit. I do think you like this one.
What?
You are dependent.
Good.
If you are beyond like the same room as Reese, you are slowed 2 and stupefied 4. You feel like you can't even think on your own anymore. Your mind at this point, after all this stress and everything you've been through, is so broken that you need her. She is the only thing that keeps you grounded. So you start to kind of come together a little bit. What happened? Are you okay?
I was playing dead. And then I don't know.
Your eyes don't even look like they can focus. Look, you better seem like you're awake. This.
Am I awake?
Easy. We can't stick with this, Easy. This, I told you, we couldn't send you back. You can't keep doing this.
We have to stick.
It's gonna break your damn mind.
We have to stick together.
We have to stick together.
We have to stick together.
They'll be fine.
We'll be fine.
And she kind of looks over towards MD in his bed and just scoots across the area and kneels down and like completely silently reaches in his bag and just pulls out a handful of coins and just comes over and grabs you. Come on. Get up. Get dressed quickly. We're done with this. We can't do this anymore. I'm not losing you again, Easy.
I'm not losing you.
Then get dressed. Grab whatever you need. They'll figure it out.
Figure it out.
Stop. Just repeat the last thing that I said. Focus.
Okay.
It takes you a moment to get stable and figure out where you are, but you grab your things, you put on your shoes, and for like the third time, you leave in the night with Reese. As you get over to the door of the cabin, Reese kind of stops a moment. You have you can turn yourself invisible. Do that. No one will notice me, but head out.
You too.
Just follow me. I'm coming with you. I'm not leaving you to the wolves of the river kingdoms.
You invisible as well.
If you can do it twice, sure. Go ahead.
Go on.
Are both of you invisible? She stops. Can you... How do I make it stop? It's going to be hard to find each other on the shore if neither of us can see.
Just hold on.
All right. Are you decent at swimming? If I go through all of this, I lose you to the water of all things. I feel like I'm just looking at nothing. Where are you? And you
Hold her hand.
feel across you, like literally up to like your face. And then you feel her face.
Oh.
She kisses you, and the door opens, and she says, "Go, come on, hold my hand," and pulls you over across the deck, past the skeleton crew of the night that aren't really doing much, off to the side of the ship, and pulls you over to the side, and the two of you just drop into the water. It's a bit of a splash. A couple of the crew kind of like look over. Fish happen, nothing out of the ordinary.
That's a big fish.
And two of you paddle your. They don't see anything, so they don't think anything of it. The two of you paddle your way through the darkness over to the shore of the River Kingdoms. A place that, as we described before, is a kind of wild and untamed land where anyone can really be anything. You've got a handful of coins, and you've got Reese. What else do you need? What do you do?
Go.
You just go inland, searching for whatever nearby settlements you can find. Maybe a brief stop back in Riverton for some supplies. It's not far from it. It's been one night of sailing down the river. It's not a land that Reese knows particularly well, but maybe it's one the two of you could learn and come to be home. Like I said, these major debilitations are like character death tier, and like realistically, if you can't function without being in the same room as Reese, I don't think Easy can really do anything anymore. But at the very least, this is about the happiest ending I think anyone's ever had in Strange Aeons. So, like,
Yeah, for Strange Aeons, this is actually a fantastic ending.
you get to just leave,
Been
make a
saying that
new
for-
life.
For a while, we've been saying.
Well,
You tried.
at first she
Twice.
wouldn't listen. At first she wouldn't listen, and then you wouldn't listen, and now you know what?
We listened.
Maybe we waited a little too long, but
Just make sure the botflies don't get you while you're in the water.
here we are.
They were invisible. They're safe.
It's an unfortunate situation sometimes when we play this tabletop role-playing game about throwing weirdly shaped pieces of plastic at foam and then making funny stories out of the numbers that come out of it, that there is life outside the game that does sometimes affect the game. And unfortunately, as you might have put together, if you're particularly astute or watched Secrets Between the Stars on Wednesday,
That requires astuteness.
this is our last episode with Kevin, unfortunately. Why you gotta leave us, man? I'm sad.
Oh, no. Easy will be fine.
Easy's fine. Easy's gonna have a great life. He's gonna have the only good ending that Strange Aeons has ever had. But I'm sad because that it has to be an ending at all. I still have a Ghost of Azan hero point. That's like that's specifically labeled to
Use it
blow up
right
Easy
now.
with what?
Make him reroll the 20.
I was considering using it to make him re-roll if he succeeded at the save against Columbia.
You gotta do a swimming check.
Not really
to
what
make
they
sure-
worked, but like I've got one.
Make sure he can swim.
Oh god.
Yeah, does he get his happy ending? Can he swim?
Does he just drown in the river?
You gotta
I'm
pass.
not gonna.
Freed.
No, we're fine
You
where
gotta
we
free-
are. It just means
We
he-
will
he
never
gets to pick
know
a new
what
target.
easy stands for. He just read it off a violin, man. We don't know what it's. He doesn't know what it
Yeah,
stands
use
for.
it as you
It's-
will.
Use it as you
Pick
will.
a new target.
Eccentric zebra.
The Ghost of Azan's got to pick a new victim. I hate it when this happens, but unfortunately, life happens. It's a great thing for Kevin, I'm sure. It's a banger opportunity you're moving for, probably. You better be if you're leaving us. Like,
We're
oh,
gonna
yeah.
miss Kevin.
We're going to miss Kevin real bad.
Kevin should take a bow.
Kevin, do
Kevin should take a bow.
You're a celebrity, Kevin. You have to bow. Tip your greenie.
You know, we never did get the frog song.
Oh, we'll
greatest
never
mystery.
know that now.
Well, no, the world will never know what the frog sign
Well, at
truly
least
was.
our perfectly average
you-
man has
well-
a slightly above
Oh, his
average.
Minnie!
He gets to go on the great shelf.
He gets to go on the great shelf of
my
retired
gosh.
characters.
The great
know
shelf
what?
That really
upstairs.
got me.
I want to do this on camera.
Yeah, that's a good
Oh,
idea.
yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's not. Or wait, yeah, you moved it. Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Card.
You have a thing. Secret's got the announcement because they went first, but that means we get the card. Yeah, I know. I'm trying so hard, man. I'm fighting it. That's the card. It's got all the cast is signed and wrote some
Hope you really
mixture
did a
of
sweet job
silly
putting
or
the
emotional
art in.
things. I couldn't bring myself to be serious because it made me too sad. So mine's kind of a meme.
I'm never serious. I straight up just said, now we have an excuse to play blood through the app. Like,
Oh, that's okay.
This does leave us with the rest of you. The
Oh
rest
my
of you,
gosh. We're still playing.
still in the dilathline drug den, see this glowing stone and see the soul get sucked up out of Easy with a 9th level bind soul from Quaviandro. And she kind of smiles and turns towards the door. I don't know if you think I've gotten this far in my life by being some manner of fool. But willing or otherwise, you do seem still to have done my job for me. Here, its task is done anyway. And she drops the actual heartstone on the carpeted floor. Consider the previous one a tip for a job well done, I suppose. And my offer still stands. Pleasant evening to all of you. Enjoy the city.
I'm gonna scramble
Walk
out to
open
grab
the
that just
door.
as soon as it going over to East. I don't know what's happened yet. I don't understand what's happening.
Pleasure doing business with you. Have a good evening.
And as she leaves and shuts the door behind her, and then Kavriki's still in the hallway. Does she still actually think that was me?
Yeah.
Yes.
Then I suppose it worked. What?
He's awake right now. It's fine.
Yeah.
We can't die
Awake?
here.
We're
Oh, you're dreamers.
Yes. We didn't say anything
You're
so
more
that we could use
cognizant
it.
than most.
Just
Well, you have what you wanted, and hopefully I have my opportunity.
don't waste it.
You've got
Good
a
luck.
week at most.
Thank you.
Take care of her. We've got to go because the last time that this happened,
We gotta wake up.
Easy wasn't okay.
For all we know, it's been 8 hours when we wake up.
Well, then we need then all the reason to go sooner.
So, with no further pressure, there's no need for a roll here.
yeah, we'll just take
The
our
group
time
of
to
you
wake up.
can take your time, focus,
Oh.
and
Before I
Wake
take
up.
my time
Oh.
to wake up, identify the scepter. And didn't I grab a necklace as well?
the necklace is non-magical.
I just grabbed it because it was
Yeah,
there.
the scepter. I don't think Henry wants to stay here for 10 minutes.
No, but
She
the
wants to
10
leave.
minutes, like I'm saying, like being asleep, I will take the time to identify. or at
You
least
sit
try
down
to.
and stare at your scepter. Unfold it
I'm
once.
gonna be
I don't have
baffled.
the card.
No. Unfold it once. There you go.
But no, because either way, it doesn't matter when I wake up.
Kevin's
the
not a
ritual
player
says I
anymore.
get
Oh,
He's
a
not
good
grabbing
throw.
that.
Less
Got
good
it.
catch,
He's
but it was
not-
No,
close.
the ritual
Yes.
says
Okay.
I get a full night's rest, so it doesn't matter when I wake up. It will. And you said unfold it once.
Yeah.
The staff can be infused with your own magic to channel incredible power. No, it can't.
Perfect
Hey,
for
what you got over there?
Wow, it's a
wait a minute.
fancy
I'm so
stick.
glad you spent 10 minutes.
I might be
Thank
able
you.
I might be able to use that one.
Yeah. So,
We're just stacking you.
Yeah, seriously.
the group of
I'll
you
have just as many item cards as I have actual spell cards.
wake yourselves up from the dilathleum dream and awaken back in the cabin to a morning like any other in the Selin Starling. Each of you eventually wake up in your bunks, and coming from this ritual, it is a rather slow awakening. Like it's like waking. Oh, I guess you're on the bunks. You're literally in a circle on the floor. Like it's. We'll assume Reese's kind enough to put you in your beds. He just kind of picks you up and lays you there. You
Aw.
know, it's a service. She's a nice lady.
Tucks
She's a
us in,
sweetheart.
gives us a kiss on the
Gives you a good
forehead
night
and-
kiss, yeah.
Upon waking
Well,
up.
you still you wake up and it is like waking up normally. So it takes a moment. You're kind of groggy for a moment. You're not really sure. The line between waking and dreaming is kind of blurry, and then it takes a second to like ready yourselves and figure out where you are. But then you remember what happened, and your immediately concern for EZ overwhelms you. And especially Cammy, I imagine, definitely seems the most concerned. What do you...
Because last time that this happened, me and Reese were scrambling on the floor, waking everybody up.
So you kind of bolt awake and look over, and you just see the cabin. There's nothing immediately horribly wrong. Yeah, fortunately, this isn't a series of murders happening this time. Reese's just getting ready like normal. As always, no one has figured out how early you have to wake up before Reese.
Probably consoling him on the deck. Let's go check.
No, she's in there. She's just in the cabin.
Wait,
Just,
she sees Reese or she doesn't?
I
Yeah.
see.
I mean, it's just she always wakes up. before
Where's
you
EZ?
guys. In his bunk.
Looking over there. Is there any?
Can you look up? Reese kind of cocks her head. Well, good morning.
Is everything okay?
I hope so. Why?
Is EZ okay?
She just kind of turns. Has he ever been particularly quick to wake up in the morning?
Reese, he died in the dream
I'm
again.
gonna walk over to Easy
Mhm.
and just kind of.
You sort of smack him, and like the physical impact moves his head, but he doesn't move. Reese immediately realizes there's a problem and drops everything and rushes
Yeah.
over to EZ's bunk.
Yeah.
20's not dependent.
It's a coma.
20's comatose.
No!
Yeah. I guessed that one. Yeah.
And despite your efforts, none of you can get any kind of response out of him.
He gets the happy ending.
He gets the happy ending. The rest of you wake this morning with Easy's unconscious body, unsure if he is ever going to wake again. You smack him, you shake him. Reese, borderline hysterical, screaming in his face, runs over, grabs a water skin, dumps it in his face. Nothing does anything. He's breathing. He's alive. Barely. But that kind of seems to be it. And after a few frantic moments of trying to bring him to, Reese just spins on the party. I told you! I damn told you that he couldn't take any more of this! You saw how he was! Why? For what purpose? What are we even chasing? We've seen Carcosa eat hell! There's nothing in the dream for us!
Not chasing Carcosa. We're chasing ourselves.
We're chasing what was stolen from us and from him.
And what has it gotten him? What's he gonna see from this?
I don't know.
We could have just left. We didn't have to keep following this trail. We could have left from Thrushmoor and done anything. We could have been anyone.
You could have left before. You could have left twice. Both of you decided no in different ways. And now here we are. And it sucks. But the four of us are going to keep going.
What do we do? I can't leave him.
We won't be leaving him. We'll be taking care of him until we can find a place where we can give a hefty donation to make sure he is cared for until the day of which he is better.
Do you hear yourself?
Yes.
You just want to dump him off somewhere with some gold pieces and hope he gets figured out?
If that starry thing shows up when he's with us and decides to take him, what would you suppose we do?
I'm not losing him again.
Reese, I'm sorry. Trey's being blunt.
Very.
But he's not wrong. And I'm so sorry.
Well, maybe he's just sleeping, right? The whole point of this was to find this mystical poet that whatever magic he has, maybe he can fix him.
Maybe.
It's
Wake him up.
entirely possible,
I don't know.
but that's going to take time. We're not done. have no intention of abandoning him. He's here because of us, and I will see through that he is taken care of.
He asked me to leave. He's twice, even. He said we could just put all this behind us, run away, lead new lives. And I said we couldn't do it. I'm the only reason he's still here.
No,
There's 5 reasons,
you're not.
him included, all 5 of us.
He chose us, Reese.
6.
He decided
She
that
just, if she's listening, you're not even sure. She just sinks down to her knees and bows her head and just cries.
I'll just kind of sit next to her.
Reese's never been a one for big emotions, so this is the first time you've ever seen her look like she's breaking. That, everybody, is today's episode of Strange Aeons.
That's a pretty damn good episode.
And it is, in fact, Kevin's last episode. We'll be back next week, everybody. And I can now say, in the week leading onto this, that although the situations that lead to it are depressing and sad and I hate them, we're going to have a cool new character introduction, so that's neat. So stay tuned.
You
It's
good?
not his fault.
Join
It's
the
okay.
Discord.
It's just-
Follow the Twitter.
You good?
You can see
sad.
some.
What do you mean?
He's having a great time.
No, he's off to start a new life.
I know it's beautiful and sad.
It's tragic.
Follow our
This is a tragedy.
socials. We get some little previews of the new character. They'll be coming along for the ride. What might be happening next week on Strange Aeons. Good night, everybody. Stay safe. Stay sane.